Blimbao Chicken Shamin, Mkhata AKMK, and a whole bunch of other AKAs. The Silver Ring Podcast, Season 4.
Happy New Year!
We live.
Kafeb, apologies for the lateness.
Yeah, big apologies.
We had to. We were up to things, but get a little fret. I think I'm a little fret for like a week now.
Yeah.
The big trio coming. So yeah, hot man dog, hot man things, hot man le pizza. You know what I mean? Vela Piona Harley Davidson, you know what it is.
Oh, that's a new one.
Hey man,
Otherwise, Kiki to off it.
Hey, and we got a
go ahead.
We got a lit one today, man. We got a lit one.
Yeah, that's how excited we are.
Yeah, we too lit.
Yeah,
litucation right now. Another thing when I went.
Got a special guest. Yeah.
That's such an anti-climax.
When I said go ahead and you came back for it.
I don't
so
know.
That's on you.
Linguistic god, word bender. Oh man,
this nigga checking himself out on the camera. Look at it.
Demigod.
Yeah, that's all you. That camera is just you, bro.
I don't know how to even explain it, man. Basically, the best rapper right now. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, but I always say, I think he knows, or I've said it a couple of times. I know mainstream. I'll say, my mainstream favorite. I'll be like, nobody really touching that.
Nasty, yeah.
Mainstream, new cats, whatever. But in terms of people that some people don't know, I always say Maglera and Illy. Nobody messing with them with the pen.
Wow, we might agree on that one.
Nobody.
Yeah.
Clary!
Wagwan, cuz.
You good, man?
I'm chilling.
Amen. It's taking...
That's a new one.
Hey, dog.
The craziest thing about my name and niggas is there are so many versions of it. They're still trying to understand the culture. Clary is like the latest, you know, but I've heard niggas call me Maglera,
Maglera.
I was touched when I said that.
That's why we cleaned it up quickly. That's why we're like, yo.
But another thing is, when something is new, it is never easy to digest.
Not true. Word up.
I always have that empathy for people.
Yeah.
But my favorite is when people call me Maglera, because Maglera is home. And it's like it's like me calling you guys Val, It's like me calling MT Josie. It's like that representation is so key. I fought for it for so long because dudes would be like, yo, your name is so long, dog. Can't you I'm like, no, it's Maglera Doe Boy or nothing. That's what I always say. I literally always say the whole thing, or don't say it at all.
Yeah.
I heard he remixed it again. He was like MDGB. I was like, oh snap. But yeah, man, it's your boy Maglera Doe Boy, aka Super Saiyan Tanga Broly, aka Count Trapula the First, Klerksdorp Bloko, Trataskot, Kokapla Popo.
Oh, man.
It is what it is.
I know that's just an intro, but you just gave me my favorite line of 2020 for sure, and it's not even a song.
Now will you be able to repeat that?
Nah. I'll listen back. And then
we got this. So Gary, I mean, when we get here, I mean, we talk hip hop,
for sure,
like a barber shop in America. You know what I mean? Like it's basically unfiltered opinions. You know what I mean? And whatever you say, this is unedited.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, I know it is. It's gonna be what it's gonna be.
You stand by it, bro.
It is what it is, for sure. It's so magic.
So that's what we do. That's what we do, And we discuss whatever's happened in hip hop, and then we get into you know what I mean. But nothing much has really happened because the year just started.
But last year ended dope. Few things that
especially for you.
I mean, it is what it is. I
mean. It was litty, bro.
I feel like every year has been ending dope versus what we come from. So it's beautiful to just level up a bit more.
Yeah.
I don't think we're at its peak. Being the type of dude I am, I'm a very anxious person. I always be playing chess, even when I'm in the moments, people will be enjoying them more than me. So it's I'm already looking at the next, where I'm at right now. It's okay, what do we do with what it is now. You know, the phone I sali di callback, you know, but ba phone nga fa le ba o belela mfuma awa kana o tla motho a bolele ka go boma em e time ya ga ya fela re bua le batho ba le re no em mpopo ya ipapala so we want to be ready, you know? We want to be ready.
Oh snap, man. So I think the only thing that we did do, you know, was Cotton Fest.
For sure.
That's the only thing that we
was
can
beautiful,
even
though.
talk about or anything that we
beautiful.
can discuss, you know. I know.
Are we not gonna go far back as December or
what happened?
You guys went to Afro Punk.
we did just that weekend alone?
Yeah, everyday.
How was Afro Punk?
Everyday people.
Oh, we did everyday. You did everyday people as well. Everyday people was lit.
Nice. Yeah, as usual.
That thing is like an American exchange of sorts. Yeah.
Yeah,
This is like gang Americans come through party. Minele One Fox.
Yeah, One Fox.
Yeah, back on Newtown, you know.
Was it hip hop or was it just like a
Hey man, it was just nice, man.
Well,
It was
the
a
Bass
bunch
was
of
there.
vibes. Yeah,
Bass.
Bass was
there.
performing, you
And
know.
Shaw was there as well.
Honorary South African.
Mixed by Ali. Yeah.
Yeah.
so o dula shapa ga ndo malangeni
Hey, man, I thought we were in
ke bona la ka mapiano ra ka
I
mapiano
want
mo
you the
shapa.
next week.
Oh, what next week? You know?
Yeah,
That's not
then-
even a
And
stretch.
you know the homie who was greeting you in Tegel American.
Yeah.
That's
Supernova.
DJ Supernova, yeah.
DJ Supernova, he's the homie, man.
Oh,
Friend of the show,
Supernova
definitely.
From Soyshow.
So yeah.
From Soyshow.
Mara le lona la move ne ke le bone le podcast na le bua
Oh yeah. Shout out to podcast.
Oh, why
Yeah.
are you controversial? It's a controversial.
I mean, you know what it is, dog, nah? I think because it's the first time we see platforms where people actually speak off the grip.
Yeah.
It is a
Speak
very,
their mind straight.
Yeah, it is a very controversial time for like South African hip hop now. Whereas like I've never been a radio dude.
Yeah.
I never really checked the playlists or paid attention to what was hot up until like I felt like, okay, I'm ready now to be in the business of this. And before that, I never considered mainstream really a part of, and no offense to the mainstream, it was more like just the energy of where I was at. We
Yeah.
weren't looking at it, so we never really acknowledged it, you know? So when I see it now, where there's like so much commercial music being mixed with the music that is in the underground, because
Yeah.
the internet is beautiful. It is like now people want to speak because it's not like we're only listening to the people on radio anymore.
Yeah. True.
When they were saying these 10 songs are the best songs in South Africa, that was fine. But now it's like, okay, now your playlist on this radio station is cool, but yo, niggas got like street Grammys on SoundCloud, you know?
Yeah.
Like niggas got like 50,000 plays, but this is
Street Grammys.
Yeah, for sure.
Street Grammys.
Yeah, tshwanetse o understand gore if o ntone tswang ko ndawong e tshwanang le Maglera,
Yeah.
and I'm in Bram, and the kid is like, yo, Maglera. For me, that's a street Grammy already.
Yeah.
Like, my nigga, I still ain't been playlisted. I still ain't on MTV. Like, you see, Bodega got my 11, and I was like, Jano sing, my name, one taller. But mine is that we are there, but I also do me behemi. So that's like, I feel like a lot of kids have already earned these stripes. You know, I saw that at Cotton Fest too with like the rage stage.
Yeah, the rage stage was lit.
The rage stage, low-key, was better than the main stage.
I don't know
mean-
about that because I was on the main stage.
I mean,
you know?
that's you.
I mean, the sound felt better. The
sound.
No, I'm not gonna say it was, but it felt.
stage.
Yeah, it felt better because
what
it was,
we want
wasn't
is
close then.
Yeah.
what we want is I wish they could have switched that. I wish they could have put the kids on the huge stage, and these big acts that we already know should be doing niche stuff. You know, more like closer to the fan type of interactions on
that's a
that
nice
small
flow.
stage.
Yeah, that's what Lalagadi band anyway.
Who should be hearing? But like the band. But I'm saying who deserves? Who deserves to be seen by a big crowd more? Someone they know or someone they don't?
Yeah, that's facts.
You understand?
Yeah, I guess it's facts, but also it's risky. It's risky because
It is.
people that come there, like it's Cotton Fest, I think has superseded that level where it's just like niche.
Sure.
So key concerts like back to the city, back to the city.
Yeah, for sure.
And everybody
For sure,
comes.
for sure.
Didn't that day.
Yeah.
So it's a bit like tricky for Orotlobe, the small acts and people in the crowd, but it's about empty AK.
For sure. And for me, when I'm speaking it like that, it's more of I wish it was like that, you know? I speak it understanding all those factors, but it's like there were some kids who created mosh pits, right? Off for a record like, okay, just like disclaimer first. I got on that main stage because Scoop stole time from me.
Yeah.
He was like, yo, you're not on this lineup, and I'm not gonna be that dude who tries to go like vouch. And he didn't say it exactly like that, but like he was just saying, I'm gonna put you on. If like we can't get you on this lineup, I'm gonna put you on. You know? And he was like, even if I give you 10 minutes in my set, even if I get into trouble for it,
shout out to Scoop for
yeah,
that.
for sure. That was a real nigga move, you know.
That was beautiful, man.
But also like the 2-stage thing, like it's more 3, yeah. It's more like to inspire like the upcoming cats, like that's what you should aspire to be.
For sure.
You know?
For sure.
So we kind of also like need that.
Yeah, and one thing I do know about rite of passage is you cannot run without learning how to walk, or like you will fall badly.
Yeah.
I just feel like some niggas fucked it up. And if that energy was taken to the big side,
I feel the same way.
it would have been so crazy.
Bro, like you should have seen the snaps from Willie Cardiac's friggin'.
I feel the same way.
The way, no, like I didn't go,
because that's American hip hop. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to get to, right? In America, they'll take like a kid who has one hot ass record on SoundCloud like that and say, "Yo, go make that mosh pit by the big stage."
Yeah.
I mean, like that was Sheck West for the most of 2018.
For sure. And we are and this is something I was saying to him, and I say it so much in my interviews lately. I feel like we are in the 90s of SA hip hop, you know? I feel like
basically the golden era.
For sure. Yeah. I feel like when the first hip hoppers came out, POC, Bafitlile, after Botabo Amu, Lebo Wiki, Disalvin, the first hype sessions, you know.
Damn, Bafitlile is that old?
Yeah,
I mean,
they were the first.
They're like the originators of hip hop.
Yeah,
but was that?
I don't know if it's before Amo. I'm not sure about my timelines, but I know that
me too. I'm just relating to.
I feel like Bafitlile came after.
I think Gidi Taka, but we knew of Amu first.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's enough.
Because another thing is distance from like coming to Joburg for a lot of people is very different, you know. Niggas might have blown up that side. Street Grammys, we need that evidence, you know, so we can understand.
Because if you remember, even like the rapping promos on YFM, Nelba Fitli.
Sure. First. You know, and for them to be found like that, it means that their music was already doing something, you know. But back to my point, when those people came out, it was an introduction to hip hop in South Africa, or what we choose to call hip hop, because I call everything hip hop in South Africa, because niggas are rapping on Amapiano. Niggas were rapping on Kwaito. They can call it what they want, but the flows were Busta Rhymes, the flows were Slum Village, you know, like there were so many records that sounded like Tainted Love for me, like those R&B records.
I was listening to my Babuzi recently. Yo,
Paps is a rapper.
That nigga, like when you listen to Clever and the way he comes in, the flow, it's just like, yo, man, yo. It's so beautiful, man. Like, but as you were saying,
Bricks, Bravo, you know, all those people from that end.
Bravo, but was like
Bravo with the hair, fam.
Yeah,
come on, Doug.
Got pushed
Bricks' pen.
Yeah, Bricks' pen is
wrote for a lot of your OGs.
Yeah, he did.
You know, so
for me, Zola's like super lyrical for me.
And you know, I heard
Zola's
a crazy story.
Like,
Zola's
like,
I think Zola was like,
wasn't he a poet?
Yeah, that too. But without like claiming it, he came in and matched the two, Kwaito and hip hop like fully.
He is like South African hip hop.
Let's not forget about the TKZ.
Come on, bro. Come on, my guess.
You can't forget.
My guess, can't forget about TKZ. Number one, Soti. Yo.
Even before that, like Izinja's album,
them niggas was rapping.
If you listen to Izinja, for me, Izinja's album is the best posse cut ever.
Magesh goes in.
So let's look at.
Ready? Sure,
burp on the mic.
Let's look at those years, right? And then we see your Amus and your Wikis and your Salvins coming to the game.
Yeah.
And your Pro Kids. And now we have the first elements of the sounds that are called Bos Paza, Bos Kanda, Wantola. And at the same time in the Northwest, we just didn't have it yet. But those sounds called like
which one is Paza rap?
Paza
is the
like,
Cape Town joints.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
Oh yeah, Kylie Jen them.
You know?
Pioneer unit in them.
Yeah.
And when those were being built, no one was calling them hip hop yet because they took from Kwaito. Right? But just like Kwaito is a subgenre of hip hop for me. Like dudes can call it what they want.
Man. Like I always say this, like when you listen to old interviews, like I take it back to this one interview I had as a kid. Tebe. When they ask him about his inspirations
is always
like hip hop. It's all Dr. Dre, like the way he was provocative.
For sure.
Like he adapted that from Snoop and Dre.
For sure. And it tell like Snoop for obvious reasons.
And I
got a record with Tebe. we made an Amapiano song about Maglera. He used to party in Maglera. He know Maglera very well.
Shout out to Tebe. He's got a house in the Val as well. Like,
the celebrity.
Like literally a house. Like a crib. Like he's got a crib in the Val for real.
Living out there.
So Sharpo, the 80s passed with Amo in them, right? The 90s.
I think came into 90s, was he not?
Yeah, but I'm saying like more in terms of where South Africa is. Oh, okay. You know, I'm not speaking like actual timelines. And this is just like how I feel about it.
Okay, cool.
It was the 80s when they came out. They represent.
So they're the Rakims.
The Rakims are our POCs and our Buffy cleaners. And then what Amo represent what came after Rakim.
That would be Wu-Tang.
Yeah, which is like just 90s, ne?
Yeah,
you know? And then now, you know, no. Bonasile Bojizi ki no. That's how I feel about it now. Because now niggas are making like bags.
And that was a huge gap.
Niggas are making bags.
They're making bags.
I'd say
you know, I'm trying to speak about like.
I think then maybe Boma 2000, that's where we are.
Yes.
Not the 90s.
Okay, let's say like 50s time. Then,
yeah.
You know?
That's the early 90s.
That's where we are.
When I see myself in a 25K and an MT, I see when In the Club came out. Where it's like, Moto. Jeff is off Jeff is off from experience. My cadence, my movements, it
because it's holding something.
Street culture. You know, when I say street culture, you see Gijele Alaska, Wantola Gijele Venzefi, like I thought what did Gamabomo, Magrizena Bona Wakwata. Maratanza understand manning all go stupunga but about school. Wait till to buy a mover. Tota ka batho school no da o jile di jerseys tse fresh la mare mona stup sa chesa ga yi le darame smamang. You understand, those are the elements that come into
must be ready to move,
looking like what you represent, you know. And that's also why dudes dress like they dress, you know. I called myself Maglera Doe Boy because I knew what a dope boy was in America. But I never wanted to look like an American dope boy. I wanted to look like a South African dope boy. I would tell you zesta ko kasi. Yo tejileng batwefili. La helmet fell off fast. Shabuzet makale mo tsora yemo na baba maka you wanna tshantse mo. Mash. One time I battle my emo. You swagging too hard.
That's too much attention.
Dope in SA looking like that.
Yeah.
Where? Because let's give that attention. You won't get robbed in the trap. You know, unless you got like them trap stars, that's for sure, you know, but it's like. And there's just certain things you say a certain way for, you know, trap niggas to know, okay, you really used to trap.
I'm really impressed with how far back you go with your hip-hop knowledge.
Yeah, research is...
Yeah, how old are you?
I'm 25, 26 this year.
Oh, I dope. Yeah, so, okay, then that makes sense.
My first experience of understanding South African hip-hop was the first Hype Sessions disc. The red one with the dudes in a cypher.
The very first one.
Yeah, that's
sponsored by Smirnoff at the corner.
Yes,
yeah,
Spaceman was on it. That record.
Yes, Spaceman.
Yeah, that record. Listen before you lose.
Don't get it confused. There's no such thing as local hip hop, just hip hop.
Yeah, the revolution is us MCs on a mic like. You know.
Yeah, that was the first one. There was The Man as well.
I remember.
The Man is a record that they met that.
He used to give him beats as well.
Yeah,
really.
He
used to produce.
That's crazy.
Spaceman was on our first mixtape.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yo, if we're talking Spaceman, my favorite Spaceman record of all time was on Hype Sessions Volume 2 or 4. It was called The Horns.
Oh yeah. I remember the horns. There
was a kid who was from Madagascar. Spoke French. His name was Onge. He made that beat.
Oh shit!
He was crazy with the beats.
I thought
he was crazy with the beats.
Who was producing a lot for Spaceman at that time? I thought it was someone else.
So nice. He was so nice.
I thought it was local.
I forgot what he called himself. No, he was studying with us. He was in South Africa.
And that is the same era of your emphatic tabs. R.I.P. Ben. That's the same time Sharpo was around, really fucking it up, you know. Yeah. And it was so special for me. Because of how little hip hop we had in Maglera. Yeah. Like we had no hip hop.
Fuck man, I share those sentiments too, because like for me, going beyond Simunya Grooves and whatever on TV, like hype.
Yeah, you know when you're talking about Simunya Grooves, the playlist on Simunya Grooves, I knew them back to back.
Yeah,
me too. We knew the sequence like
and then when Channel O was also merged.
And then they played on SABC.
There was a time when Channel O was a TV show
on SABC.
You know, My biggest memory of those playlists and the reason why I got a grill right now was Mike Jones.
Mike Jones.
That is the inception of Dope Boy. Yeah. When I saw niggas rubbing their hands, talking about back then, you didn't want me. Now I'm high, how is all me? You know? I was like, Maglera and country rap is the best way I can explain how I feel like I am coming through into the game. I am like a country rapper because it is like the one with the least, how can I say, infrastructure too.
Yeah.
Which is why I have so much old school culture in me because it's still very...
It's still sitting, it's
backwards. Yeah, it's still growing, you know. We're inspired by dudes like me who were inspired by my nigga Apili. I am second generation Dope Boy and Maglera. The first people to flip yayo, move anything. That's why I have such a dope timeline of like the street culture at home too, because we saw it from like when the first fly hotels at home started becoming trap spots, or when the Portuguese girls started talking to black boys, you know, which is why like on Bottega I can spit all that, you know, Antoni Montana-esque.
How are Portuguese in your hood? Do they own fish and chips and stuff like that?
You know. Okay. Maglera is basically like a mining town, bro, you know. That is why I have so much of the number culture in my music too, because mining towns and the number are synonymous. So niggas also
the
nostalgic ngongoloza freestyle. That's when I was chilling with a lot of 28 dudes, you know, like violent criminals. And you see in the video, I was telling your brother, like 9 of the dudes maybe in that video, 7, 9, like gone since that video, you know?
Yeah. And you were saying like the pitfalls of like putting people on like...
It's also when I learned to put the purpose in my music, because at the peak of Maglera Doe Boy is when I was maybe at like the most vile in my life, because I didn't understand what I was doing with what I was given, you know? Like, I am a kid who comes from, I want to say lower middle class, you know? We didn't have a car at home. I never had like the PlayStation or the fly's phone, which is why we started trapping. We weren't dirt poor, but like I wasn't that kid ka Friday that was getting like a pizza unless we made the guap for it. Or maybe I jacked an extra like $30 for my mom's wallet. Because gela ne re shapa di kaftini rona le majita. Wa nthola like ratse ba re mo bana ba makule mo ba vaka di gaulo se di mo di biryani mo. Wa nthola. But at the same time, I am also one of the kids at home who has slept starting with my friends, but the street kid. And it was like maybe because of like the domestic stuff that was happening at home. Because, you know, the older you get, when you want to look back at why did I do this and why did I do this? There was a crazy chat I had with my sister, actually. She's like, yo, you know, when you were like 10, there was a time when like they said you were depressed. And they were like, yo, man, you're a kid. You're like 10 years old. Why is he depressed? But I was a very aware kid, even at a young age, you know. I was a kid who knew that we are definitely not as rich as these people. And that made me very self-sufficient, you know. I would package mazimba, ke rekise ko di zone over TV game, ke bule garage da ke bele majita ba khona dlala for RC. One told I always had that like
unless they hear
entrepreneurial,
yes, like, you know, and street entrepreneurship. I never handed in a CV. I never had a job, you know. My first stack, I bought it to the house myself. My mama saw it. She thought we stole, you know. I didn't say that it was trap money. I said I was performing, but it was trap money, you know. And another thing is, because this is South Africa, the street culture in South Africa has a lot of respect too, you know. Your parents never know what you're doing. When dudes get arrested in the hood, their mothers be fighting because she don't know her son like killer, you know. It's like, she be hearing like, Tabo last week since I forced us mamanga le bottle they wanna shake them when they got a bottle. But Kenya buma 5 geria le motho magazine one taller. But that's just because we are still in the 90s in SA, like I'm saying. Street culture is becoming at its craziest. Violence is at its craziest. Drug culture, that I can tell niggas about like thoroughly, because in high school, when I was in high school, the most dangerous substance you could bring to school was some weed, and you'd find some crazy white boys bringing like some cocaine to school, you know? But when it got to a point where like I'm in grade 10 and we are writing, what's those exams that you write? The ones you write in grade 9 to pick what you're going to do. You know, when you're writing your CTAs, but at the same time, the day before, you and your boys were packaging crack, crystal meth. You must understand, like, when you see it starting...
In grade 9.
Yeah. Now, we we were like, I was a good kid, right? But I had access to a lot of dope, how can I say, dope dealing homies. But what I loved about them always was like, they never encouraged me to become like what we became. We were kids. People went through puberty difference. Some niggas were at the mall playing Dance Dance Revolution, you know. Some niggas were fucking skating, you know. We were packaging. That's just the difference in us.
It almost feels like you had a chance to be a Nas who was surrounded by all these things. You could have chose to look from your window.
But you participated.
Trapping was fun.
Yeah.
Ntate o tswa ko kasi taxi ke 10 rand ya go toropong. Ha o fitla go toropong nda o fetsa tsa 4 drata. That's for clipper. Drata ke clipper o Maglera. O fetsa tsa 4 drata.
No,
everywhere. You know, we cousins. So o fetsa tsa 4 drata go stupung in one transaction. O tlo batla o sala go toropong the whole day. One thola. O jikela go kasi da go kasinya ka majita bheketseo. One of the craziest stories I always remind them of is niggas would fight ha get like a rizla kukasi. Hutubua ka TF. This is like 2009, 2010. Hutubua ka check. I get like a rizla. Yeah, choose. Pampirinyane ya kini gata.
Explain to them once you don't know what a TF or check is.
So,
phone book or newspaper.
For sure. So if I can understand that much of the culture at home, then you must understand if we talk about the hip hop, I studied it just that much, you know. That's why I catch feelings when we speak about like words like bars in essay and how can I say the culture.
And they mention names.
Let's leave names, though. Let's leave names. I told this man before we came into here, you know, I am too Maglera for my liking sometimes, you know. Maglera is like Harlem. We are like Harlem for real. You know, so there's certain things in the game that I don't want to...
Harlem is famous for fly niggas.
Yeah, but I mean more in speech sense, you know, if... When we were in the trap, you ain't making no money. It's like, nah, man, you looking bummy as fuck.
It's almost like paid in full.
Yeah, exactly. You see that scene where Dame says, yo man looking broke, man, better get him a kilo or something. You know, that was home.
Yeah.
Like, yo man, you got these little niggas broke as fuck. Give these niggas like fucking Zol or something. You know, that was us. After school, we never saw like uniform. That's why
I drop the name Rico and take
for sure. Like, and because of how much movies are a part of street culture in SA, after the number, when niggas wanted to open gangs here, the first references they took from were the movies they took. That's why I'm a VL Mumzanzi. Vatos Locos. Orales Chale. Vatos Locos forever, homes. Niggas take that shit for real. Because they mixed it with a South African gang ritual, which is the number, you know. So you come from a hood like Maglera.
It's crazy because Lona in the 90s, Sharpeville. Vatos Locos.
And Lino Ban's about things.
In the LVL.
Hey, I want to buy Pharmaceutical Juang.
Yeah.
We Pharmaceutical.
Hey, ki ye yabona one tall boy SVK. Maglera is like a timeline of gang culture for me. Like niggas can tell me when the first gangs in my hood started, and they broke down, and then they became like different elements. Like boy SVK, Stote Fankak, HL, Hardelieve, DR, Death Row. But you listen to all of that, that's all a little foreign, you know. That's all like some stuff you can hear they heard from Park. Like hard living, you know.
Park was obviously Park was
SVK is like Slovakia. That's like a country, you know. But niggas niggas will probably like, yo, this shit sound hard. Vakia.
That shit was hard go because there were some guns then like because they were made in Slovakia.
Then that makes sense because AK-47 ain't Russia, then Russia.
And that's another thing about
Kalashnikov,
about the gang culture in South Africa. It is a crazy timeline of actual events in South Africa. Those tattoos that dudes have, the stuff they say when they inverted commas sabela, you know, it is like precious information if you are one of the people who's exposed to it and giving it like purely, you know, versus like how niggas are like looking at it from the window, you know, like.
And just to try to do it for some cool shit.
And I think, that's also why like I'll get touched if dudes talk like, I got the Nina, blah, blah, you know, like, niggas like us saw the Nina, you know? Niggas like us held the Nina, shot at Kadi 31, that's the only time a kid will be given a gun by a gangster. Kadi 31, Happy New Year, happy. Maybe we'll lead the 100 shooter. You'll never know why niggas did it for the boys, you know. For us, it was just because we were thorough kids in the trap. The scammers at home used to go scam, dog. They come back with like 20K. They're like, yo, little niggas, hold 3K, go get us something by the plug. We go to the plug, you know, 1,000, give us that. 2K in my pocket, you know. We're finessing both ways, Hardy. That's that sauce. You just got that dope boy juice.
The dope boy juice. Pause. Got the dope boy juice.
Got the dope boy juice in the
So what I love about where SA hip hop is right now, let's leave like differences aside, who's saying what, who's doper than what in any element, is you can identify street culture, North culture, new wave culture. We still need to decide what's happening with the vernacular hip hop. You know, like some people rap solely in English, and people they'll never be put in the same category as kind of what's the sound that Ricky and them, I don't want to say came with or coined.
A newish quite.
Yeah, you know, like what if I rap in English, but all my beats are in that element? Yeah. Am I new age kwaito, or does it have to be in vernacular for it to be new age kwaito, you know? Before Jabba passed away, he would always say anyone rapping in vernac is a motswakolista, because motswako means a mixture, and no one gave it a tag before, you know? So he would consider like a Zakwe a motswakolista, a pro kid. It
just happens to be Zulu motswako.
Yes, but it's still motswako, you know? But like, this is that time. This is that time where some people don't even want to be called rappers, but they say they're in hip hop. Which is like, for me, as a hip hopper, it's like, you know that meme where that guy is like, there's like mad question marks on his, it's like
Swaggy P.
What do we call it, B? Because hip hop was a rap, b-boying, and what else? Graffiti. Those were the elements, right?
B-boying.
And that's the disconnect with the commercial hip hop and the underground, if we can still call it that, you know, because it's just underground because it's unknown, but some of the music isn't even underground.
Not even underground. I was about to say, underground is not a sound anymore.
It's like, it's not a sound anymore.
It's like freestyle. You remember the old freestyle term was like rapping off the dome. Now freestyle is just...
It can be just a 16 that we haven't heard.
Just going off, you know? And I have learned to not be an Uncle Tom about hip hop too. You know?
Which you could be, because you're such a quote-unquote historian.
For sure.
You know, so you could be looking down on a lot of what's happening.
But I won't lie, I used to, dog. I have interviews that I am so happy never surfaced because I was going hard, you know, like, and that's also the Harlem aspect I speak on when I speak about Maglera, because it's like,
their attitude is like,
that was like Dame Dash stage.
Dog. Khuli has one memory about Maglera. And I shared this story with you guys like before we switched on the mic, so I'll just speak it again for the listeners. But a big part of why I mess with Morafe as a whole, Tody Mac, KG, and Khuli, and which is why I came up in between each of them, but at the same time, which is why like I'm still so independent. Like we have partnerships with Khuli, but I move at my own pace. We make the music ourselves. ONDE is the label, and we have our own artists. And there'll just be times where obviously you want someone who understands the business enough to say, yo, give me this so I can do this. And you don't want it to be like, quote unquote, an ANC-esque type of nigga who open a label and then expect you to make that 100K back like this, versus a hip hopper who knows the risks and they know, okay, if this doesn't jump off, it didn't jump off, B. You know? It's crazy.
Message.
It's crazy. It's just, that's SA too, because we are some village ass niggas and niggas don't want to accept it. Our women still love like that tribal shit. They still love the man with the most cows, you know? Niggas are still super machismo. Like, it's 2020, you know? There's a lot of things we still have to grow from as black people. So those elements will always exist up until we move past those things. But going into the game, the way I came into the game, like it has been both like dope and sometimes it sucks. You know, when you're doing it yourself, partially with people outside, but mostly it's on you guys. You suffer from the anxiety of making the product, the anxiety of how they're gonna receive it. the anxiety of sitting with people who play the numbers game and say, yo, this is what they want right now.
Yeah.
But Bodega is 4 years old. Still to this day, ain't nobody make a record like that. You know, that's like just the faith of not playing the numbers game and saying, I'm gonna make music. And like the rest of that tape is the same. I can't wait to give you guys 2-player actually. It is like, I feel like it's like when Travis did Old English. Remember that time in Travis's life? Just before Days Before Radio.
Yeah, that post Al Pharaoh.
Yeah, let's say Al Pharaoh-esque.
Yeah.
You know, I don't really want to compare to Al Pharaoh, but it's just like you're gonna hear so many versions of a Dope Boy, and at the same time you're gonna hear so many versions of Maglera.
Yeah.
Like, okay, this is Maglera at night. This is Maglera when like niggas are like catching bodies. Cause one thing I saw was like all of this shit happen. I was 12 when I saw a nigga bezwa ka gagafu da go diblokong tsa ka da. First out towa transport ya go sgela. Di mane ke a choose ya grot mana ka lebitso like Eugene. Eugene ne le ichele. Eugene na tla go crashing ya go haya na ngola ntho tsa botsotsi mo crashing da. Di la kana sa morate. Wantola. And a lot of niggas, when you go to Maglera and you ask them about my hood, they'll tell you like specifically with like violent crimes, Kanana is like top tier in Maglera, which is where even that energy comes from in my songs when I say like, gang, you know, that's the same energy I'm it's that run-up energy. You see even on stage how I bump, you know, that's that Apex Guluva fucking monogram, you know, it's like, yeah, I am. We ghetto, but we ain't hooligans, man. So I love seeing like a youngster. I feel like he is like, I learn a lot from dudes like that, you know. A lot of people at home, they'll see like a 25 MT, a youngster, and they'll want to put me up with them. As a Maglera kid, they'll be like, hey, Mari, swags man. But that's street culture. Niggas are always machismo, you know. But it's like, nah, bro, Cape Town is real.
Yeah.
Cape Town is real,
you
know.
Mad
like,
real.
We ain't got guns in my hood yet. So I can't really say we are, you know, Cape Town. Pelly is real. What 25 is speaking there. And for you to be able to speak that and have the whole hood behind you when you're saying that, that is super real.
Yeah.
You know?
That speaks volumes.
The names niggas be dropping on these songs, those are super real. You can't just do that on the PlayStation over Twizzer Wessel Tema. It's off from Hobaya Bodega Boy.
Yeah.
Maybe we're not really chisa dozo every day. Ma onoleda. So transporting no to sara lidla no emetsi go pela ntluda. Rona bo magrizen ba gona bana ruta batho go maineng bosiu. You know, like, and that's how you become a kid like this. Those kids whose parents were working too hard, never at the house. So right now you don't have that influence to, you know, our big bros, Banalo was starting. I became like this because the first fly niggas I saw were like this. So it's like, damn, I want to be like this. You know, and that's what Dope Boy is. That's what I want to be for in terms of like the kids in the hood. Let's leave everything I've done. You know, I never feel, and I was telling him in the car, I don't regret anything that we did Kostrate, you know. I won't speak about it a lot, but like, I have never hurt black kids. You know, I won't speak about the rest of the world, but we never.
One thing for sure.
I never sold no dope to a black kid. You know, we did drugs with other kids because we were all kids. You know, we see a plug, he's trying to hide his shit. You know, my boy had that BlackBerry app that does like the colors, right? You know, like when you get the message and then that light switches colors. So we had this one setting that did the cop colors, and this one time we ran up on this plug. This dude is stashing, and we were passing. So my boy does this. He switches on that thing, goes like with the transi to this guy, and we look like cops. So obviously this guy's like just gonna hoy the product away, run away. Took that was like big ass plastic full of ecstasies. I was like a party in the trap.
Damn.
Niggas are like 17, dog, 18. Niggas were like a big ass bag of East. You must understand that day, everyone was like losing their shit. And we didn't even sell much of it though. We just like, you know, and those are the only times we really ever indulged in the lifestyle. Dumelang? But say better dumisa mnyongo. Get a cigar, so. Chaka ya Valentine's and
Lonely. One thing that always into a stag, like even when somebody who comes from the gang culture, somebody who's affiliated with
and I always want to put this out. I am affiliated with a lot of gang culture because we flipped, and I'm doing this because I've never gotten the chance to be able to speck about it properly. Most of my interviews are like so tight. I can't.
Of course.
So it's like I can finally say, yo, don't get it twisted, because a lot of dudes be saying it, and I feel like they're the ones who should even be this honest, because when people see like a me, they'll feel like, yo, Maglera, that's what it is for real. You know, like you go home, you hit the club with me, scammers will go to the DJ and say, yo, Doe Boy here, we trying to hear Bodega the whole night. And then they'll show him the piece. Alright, Dala Bodega. Check out Dala Bodega.
You don't care where you find it.
La Kinya Ox, Emma Bailey, Evatsu, Doe Boy things. I got it on the phone.
So what I was trying to,
and you know hood niggas. But what I'm trying to say is, I was a normal South African kid who, when everyone else after school went to go hockey or whatever, we went to go sell weed. You know, when I finished high school and my mother wanted me to come to Joburg to do school, I told her I want to do music and it was too expensive for the fam. And I was like, okay, keep that cash. Let me rather just trap in Joburg, make music. And then we just flipped more packs, because I come here, I'm in Brahma, find a plug who sells like 100 grams of like outdoor, crazy ass outdoor that I can take back home, and like we double up on these went to him, double up on the customers. You know, then that's how we gonna get it popping. But I never want niggas to think Doe Boy was a gangster. No, my friends are gangsters, you know. And that's why I say it, because for you to say I'm a gangster, like, bro, you gotta be with that gangster shit. You know, I am a Doe Boy. I used to chill by the corner, flip packs, you know. But in my family, in my extended family, is people who are in the culture that deep. Street niggas, I don't know if he's gonna greet frat like this, or if he's gonna like have one of those days, then I'm like, come on, why didn't get this after beef? But yeah, I was just trying to clear that. So
you were never part of a gang, to say?
No.
No. Because what I was gonna ask is like, what happens when you start rapping and then you can't take part in the daily activities of
the set? But what I can tell you is, like, I was so close to it, that at home there are neighborhoods that even now I feel like I can't go. You know, because of who my friends are. They are in my videos.
From the affiliation.
They are in my videos. The slang I speak is sometimes native to like a certain set, so to speak, if we were in America.
But
you know.
Yeah, but also you got stripes. You belong to a certain set. Sets. The
whole of Maglera. There's like at least like 3 trap houses I can pull up at. There's a certain group of, and it's always the top tier niggas. Like so let me break down Maglera to you, right? Maglera is like maybe 6 townships. You know, mine is called Kanana. And Kanana is like dusty, you know, Soto / Tosha street culture. Right next to my hood is a hood called J-Town. And that's where I shot Bodega. It's real name Jobetina. After Jobetina is Alabama. Alabama is an Indian / colored community. And then you get the hoods outside, like a Tihani. And the other hood, which is next to Maglera, like when you come into Maglera, it's called Kuma. So Kuma, Alabama, Jobetina, and Kanana. I lived in 3 of those hoods once in my life, which is why I gave myself that name, to say I've covered the whole of Maglera. I'm Maglera's Doe Boy, you know? My family came from Itsoseng, because my mother is Tswana and my father is Soto, but I was born in the Free State. I was born, crazy story, I was born in a moving van. Because my mom ran away from the house after she found out she was pregnant with me, and my dad, blah, blah, damages, you know, black families. So,
that's so messed up, see.
But it is what it is, though. It is what it is. We have to grow from these things, and we have to speak it, you know, just like we have to
past it.
Yes, you know,
to learn from it.
Sometimes it's not a good pill to swallow. To say
it's a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah, it's a huge pill to swallow. Black parents need to understand a lot of shit that we understand now, that they were never taught to speak about, you know. But in those 4 hoods, right, I get you were asking me about the street culture and being affiliated with it. I got more love than I got hate because of how much of an intellectual I am. You know, like, after class mechanics, one told Mare, it's not like niggas wasn't reading Othello and Ozymandias in the trap. No, I'm flipping you a pack, but I'm holding Ozymandias right here, man. You know? I'm not a hooligan. I'm just a freelance pharmaceuticalist. Don't get it twisted.
Freelance pharmacist.
But dudes like Maglera, that's dangerous.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Because the thing about it is that people will hang with you.
For sure.
And do the things that you do.
But they do.
You're always straight.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
I've got the same problem with a mutual friend of ours, Kelvin.
Sure.
Like, Kelvin's one of those, like, he does a lot of shit.
For sure.
And he was always the dude that would get away because he's so smart.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
But can I tell you a secret? Criminals are smart, though. Ain't no dumb nigga in the trap.
Yeah.
That's why niggas are like making bands. You know, like you. Niggas,
it depends on the tier, like on the rank. Like, you know.
Yeah, but the most calculated ones, the ones that read nuances and the ones that study, you know what I mean?
I'm saying like sometimes it doesn't have to be,
almost like,
sometimes it doesn't have to be a European definition of smart.
No, trust.
You know,
It's
it doesn't have to be in the books.
It's not even there.
It doesn't have to be.
Because that's not being smart. You know, Gito used to always say is like you're just programmable.
For sure.
Like, you know what I mean? And you know how to regurgitate.
And I wasn't programmable.
You know,
I couldn't study.
Yeah.
I got 0% for business studies.
I hated business economics.
Like, you're not Southern Comfort in the exam room. No cap, dad. Not Southern Comfort. Get some more bottle in your appetizer.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm going to like, fuck it. It's fine. And there was a point when, like, we really just thought we were going to be like Maglera trap stars. Like, fuck TV, fuck blowing up, you know?
Yeah.
I get the V-dub, I get the shorty from the hood, I get the RDP house. I, like, maxed out on that money. Maybe my name look like Bizabudi 10, like, it's scary about tobacco. See, like, these fat cats do, you know? That's like small town dreams. That's where niggas end up.
When did you see beyond that?
When hype put me on for the first time.
So I want to get to that point, to the point where like you're like, yo, I'm gonna start putting my raps on tracks. Like,
for sure.
I'm gonna find a studio. I'm gonna start recording.
For sure.
That when did you get to that point?
So first, I started rapping in 2004, right? And it's also like a big part of when my life changed for real, because my mom's was like a night school teacher, you know, which means she didn't have like benefits or like a car, stuff like that. She was just like, sometimes she didn't have work, sometimes she did. My pops was teaching for the government, but wasn't for a very long time. And when he stopped working, like life got really different. So they took me to a school. For first 4 years of my life, I went to a private school in Klerksdorp called Methodist. And I was one of those kids, like the hand-me-down kid at school, but my parents took me there because they knew I was smart. And I was gonna finesse the fuck out of that opportunity. And I did. That's where you hear like the opera elements in my songs, you know, even my English. Like I was one of those kids who, I'm the first kid at my house to speak English like I do, you know, and I started speaking English to everyone at the house because I was like, the one thing my pop said to me is, if you want to beat the colonizer, then you must be the colonizer. Somewhat just like they became us when they came and they studied us and they could understand, you know? And it was like, you have to know English, no matter what you want to do in your life. You know, he always knew I was going to be an artist, you know? Him and I aren't like the tightest. But the one thing that we link on is I can smoke some weed and chill with my pops, and he'll play Fela Kuti and he'll teach me about Black history, you know, like Mansa Musa. He'll tell me about the first wars. He'll tell me about our versions of like your Plato, Mantola, stuff like that. And him and I linked when I was 18, right? But when he left, you know, because you know, traumatic experiences with Black kids, especially what sparked a lot of the talent. With me, it was then. 2004, my pops leaves, and I don't know where this nigga's at, so it just became like something to do. I started actually listening to a lot of music and writing the lyrics for people at school. And then they would pay me for writing the lyrics for them. So my brother had this Walkman, and like if you wanted a song, I would take a cassette, loop this thing for like 2 days, write this thing. And then after I write you the song, I'm gonna go photocopy it and you take that, and now you know the song too. But I'd have this book, right? that had like comics that I took from newspapers like Speedy. I'll put Speedy there because it wasn't rap first. I was like super creative. I drew.
Oh yeah, you drew.
I just kept myself busy. And then dudes just asked me. My first crew was called All G, All Gangsters. This is grade 4, going into grade 5. And Linda Ngizela and Tumelo Mapedi. Tumelo is Calvin's cousin. And Linda is little brother to the Giselle brothers. I don't know if you guys know them. They make Afro pop. So Linda...
I used to sell Giselle brothers CDs. Bro.
Yeah, remember you had reliable warehouse niggas.
So we used to rap on Goofy's beats and Troop Troop's beats. Because they were producing with them.
Goofy's a legend, by the way. Goofy, legend.
I still have those records actually, up until like maybe grade 7. We were like, they took us to studio for the first time. I saw the Vodacom Tower when I was like 11, That was like super inspirational. After that, when I went back home, I knew I wanted to become a musician. And then I just started surpassing my friends in terms of the crew. They each just, like the rap thing was just a thing for them.
And then it's just like...
But for me, like when I got to high school, that's when like I started lacing my own records. That's when I became Maglera Doe Boy, because in grade 8, initiation, people get initiated. And then when I came, I was like, I had baby fat, I was chubby, it's before I smoked all this weed. So when I got to school, niggas are wearing dresses, niggas are being like forced to like hit on all the girls. And then one of my homies was like, nah, y'all don't touch this one, he rap. Then niggas were like, nah, spit some. Then I spit though. Then it was like, nah, you cool, you chill with the grade 10s, Then after that, I just started finessing, after school battles. Smamanga break you batara, it's like, damn, I gotta come prepared every day. But at that time, I was still calling myself Eclipse from a line that I heard from Proverb, actually on a record called Old Script. It was on Hype too. This is an old script. I heard this back in the day. Now there was a line he said like, I'm like the moon and the sun. I block your shine. And I like that word. And that's when I started making more raps that were like conscious, because I came through commercial. Even as a kid, I already knew I want to make music that is going to be on TV. And people don't like it when you go metaphysical, what. But in high school, in high school, I started becoming more like, how can I say, conscious. And I wanted my music to have more meaning. And then in between, when I started bumping the Clips and Pusha T, that's when like I got into the street culture at the same time, like grade 9. I bumped Pusha T, I bumped a lot of Pharrell because I loved Pharrell. Pharrell is actually the reason why I even like started bumping the Clips. And then I was like, yo, I really want to become a rapper. So we started going to sessions by a dude called Sly. He's my OG. Sly taught me everything I know about street culture. We slept by his flat in town. He would always give us sessions as long as the bars weren't bullshit. Like niggas kicked you out if you rap some bullshit, because it's like gangster rappers, dog. Dude is here with like a 9 here. He's rapping some real shit. You want to come talking about swagger. That's what they used to call me, swagger boy. Because every time I came, it's like, wait, nah. Peanuts is out a swagger. So it was like, damn, man. OGs ain't fucking with me. I gotta And then that's the inception of Dope Boy. I caught my first and only case at school for possession with intent to distribute, because we were selling dope like on Fridays. We were selling it to kids at the skate park, and we got busted. I got busted, actually. I got busted, and then clout at school. After you get arrested, everyone's like, hey, Fred isn't a kid, I took that clout literally, started chilling in the CBD, and really became like a street rapper, because then we were just spending our time in the CBD and watching movies like Paid in Full now, and movies like Juiced, and understanding that we are actually these same kids, and just taking that, like acknowledging it and trying to flip it in a South African sense, And then I studied Dope Boys. My first Dope Boy was Young Jeezy. That's when my voice became like, that's when I started doing like the ATLE, like dragging my
That's the beginning of trap.
But I never wanted to make trap music though. I've never called my shit trap. Every time people call it trap, I laugh, because it's like, I didn't call it that. Ke strata, Ribita strata. It sounds like where we're from. Trap ke kara. Majita ba trapper because kara ba go di trap house. Bona ka mo di Qolombong, ka mo di Mpanching. Ha ona motho ona promethazine. Unless a tseba after you can't be drinking promethazine in SA if you're in the trap. Like, how you gonna be slow? What's about makata batla mo Mzansi? Ki di shoot to kill. When about adrenaline. But no disrespect to dudes who are like sipping Ben and stuff. I'm just saying, like, in terms of essay.
Sipping Ben.
You know?
Big Ben.
And I just gave it that name, you know?
I just
said that now. You're sipping Ben. Big Ben.
That's why very few niggas caught it. That's why I repeated it.
You know? It's more like, that's just not what it was, you know. Trap culture in SA was Ankilwa ona riksa dipoku sa 6 randa. Trap culture in SA was cousin yao riksa nkufu, baby zandanda, a riksa corner. You know, trap culture in SA was now.
And then ni kata ba to talk.
Ntate unzo ini obua past tense wets alani. Watch his auto chisa jwang. No, una le motho tshwereng baby so.
Ono shabela ma team fetu go ba popon
nna ne ke ba etsetsa baby. Like, I'm that trap baby. Like, I know how to make an danda baby. You take 2 matchsticks so the kenya mo bottle kopong, and this ain't directions for y'all little niggas.
I let it go then.
I let you bottle kopong.
Yo, na bottle kopong. And my hood ne rutsuba zolo ka bottle kopong before Rizla itla ku kasinyaka. It was either bottle kopong kapa TF, you want told. So the music now.
Bottle copy bad, Tane.
Oh, me bro.
Because that should go straight to the head. Like, it's not like...
Yeah.
Bottle cop fruits.
No, ma bottle... Bobo na sharpened. And
you know what in Danda is, does?
That's light.
It is like Quaaludes.
Yeah.
Y'all niggas watched... What's that movie?
Scarface.
No.
Another
Wolf of Wall Street. That's where you see more the same effects. Like, watch the movie, dudes take that pill, then they like, you know, in the hood, niggas are hot basing it. Machita banga pilisele ba ikinya mo, ba kinya zesta ba yemo. Yo. Mara majita tshwantse re bua ka dilenya re di drugs tse ka fela dula di akol kitchen.
Yeah, I was about to ask you about, like, because you were telling me that you got this theory that the failed drugs.
Not just failed, like pharmaceuticals in general, you know, and I ain't trying to, you know, get nipped. I ain't trying to get sebied, you know, on crib. But I'm just saying, and I enter gitli bua ka Sotho, because ma khwa ba ngiba mo like the interview lo bua ka Sotho, and ke bona ba re bola yango kas. Didn't say kwa di suspend go di hospital dia go kasi. Majita banga ga di direction tsa wetsa pipi ya bottle ko. Majita banga ga di direction tsa flaka. Yeah, mo didn't say it like every 3 years on a dating inch. $1. So it's like,
and I saw my motive majita ba plum like the laboratory like ba test and test na.
It's ka banga ga diamond lo motse bang gore okay sharp thibo se ke crackhead ya go di blogo. Marenja ke span wetsa pipi ya bottle ko. O hloka this like the element it's E5. Di sticky tsele filter o bea dipete da gore ha e cha o tse bore zole e fedile e fitla da e thuba dipete you understand what I mean
o utlwa tata sonzo ya fedile
when I go you when I go it's ala one choice so not to stay into the street culture thing too much, because that's another thing about me. I always speak about it so much because I'm like still in it, you know. Like when I go home, dog, every time I celebrate something, the first place I go after going to my house is back to my boys, you know? And it's like, niggas are still catching cases. Niggas are still like locked up. Niggas be video calling. I was showing this nigga, one of my boys now was showing me his new celly. He sent me pictures like, yo, my cell number 14, little machita yi. And you see the and the message before that says, send me bodega, you know? And I actually want to like,
crazy.
If I can find his voice note, there's a voice note he sends me saying, hey, mo batla ke palame box before send la pine. Which means you want me to see the judge before you send me the song. Like, yo, send me that record. And you go home, a lot of dudes in Maglera who are inside, when they come out, they come to me, say, yo, my boy, I saw that new shit. I was inside, you man, that shit moving. That didn't go constant. That didn't go selling, go constant. So I know that as much as this strata stuff, I may not be communicating it the right way right now. I mean, I'm a kid learning to articulate something that is so grotesque, you know, like street culture is street culture.
I disagree. I think you're doing it like one of the way you're communicating it, as unfiltered as it is.
For sure.
Is like the most.
You know what he said in the whip? He said it's scary.
It is scary.
Like I said, when we were here, the first time I heard, because we were talking about even like the rappers that we listen to like a 25K. When I heard that, when I heard Culture Vulture, I was like, yo, this is amazing.
It ain't a thing. I'm selling yayo. For real.
Like
that nigga said that for
real. And
them
niggas is repeating that shit, not knowing what it means.
Yeah. But I was like, yo, man, this thing.
And that's another way it speaks of Majin Buu.
It's scary, but it's beautiful.
Nah, but free Boo for real, you know, 25K only saying free Boo. That's his nigga, you know?
It's like, yo, man.
And you know, sometimes what people will misconceive in a line like that, ne? Maybe he speaks it more from like saying, and I sometimes I share the same sentiments. Ne? I feel like even the rehabilitation of, how can I say, the dudes who be doing stuff like that, right? If you know where the pain comes from, then you can deal with it from the root and not go throw them in a cage with other niggas like that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not saying that they shouldn't go to jail.
Exactly. Yeah, like our jails should even stop being called rehabilitation centers.
Because they don't rehabilitate.
Until they actually like rehabilitate niggas.
Because what you're dealing with in our jail system is sharp, hypothetically speaking, my nigga over here is in set A, right? And just before I came, you are selling okabanele Fader. Fader asa decide mo kinya ko selling ya set B. Afitara, their money, and you know sometimes people like don't want to say shit like that. But their money afitara majita ba mo ripa ba le bo mai footy. You know, Clara he's fucked up. But mo dropo za enemy. About bad writing, that's like a red flag, dog. About bad enemies like but what Bible be that like a win. Until like so many things happen in the system that like by the time someone comes out of jail, there is no rehabilitation, bro. There really isn't. I be
PTSD
too much over.
I be sitting with my boy Kibota Mo 20. Why Utuba so? Well, I said it on Tetris. I said, cop the rolling paper by the Debo Dega. I just got some fire for the low. Khuli Vili Gufu for my trap niggas just to help them balance out the lows, right? In my copying of that wheel, and when I speak about those lines now, obviously like I made 2Player like 4 years ago, you know, and I'll tell you guys why it took so long for me to drop after this. But when I was saying that line at that time, I felt like I'd rather cop it for them than them going out and robbing niggas for it. You understand? But
sad, man.
But it's like all those elements will always exist because of that loop. It is such a big loop, bro.
It's a vicious
I'm a kid who was stuck in that loop. I could have been anything, but I became this, you know? But I'm saying I can see all the elements that make it like that. It just takes one day for you to fuck up and then they're not even looking at your background history to say, okay, maybe this nigga's uncle touched him when he was a kid. But as soon as it's like someone who's a bit lighter with like some fairer hair, it's like, no, actually, Anthony suffers from PTA. Motibo se angila khala mo black se since they wanna na ma 6 in feet. One taller. Why ena le sa khona mo nahanela jwalo? Why le sa khone hore link the same amount of time to like study his issue and really rehabilitate a kid like that, so that even if he does go to jail, you know, but he's going to jail in this manner. Not no like the psycho. He bought that life. You know, like a jailbird. You introduce a kid to a jailbird. A nigga who's gonna stay in jail forever will fuck up a kid who he knows he's gonna bounce his 2 months. It's another loop because niggas are trying to survive. And the hood is the same as the fucking prison, B. Niggas must never get it twisted. The township is gulag. You know, the township is a concentration camp. It's a fucking fishbowl that niggas like us get stuck in. I'm still stuck in the hood. I was saying that to him, you know. I got crazy PTSD. I be keeping quiet like a motherfucker if I don't feel comfortable around people. Because if I see one element that feels like any interaction that's happened in the township, you know, might happen like that, I would rather go there than be spoko sele sene lui wage majita. You know, you don't want to be the latter. You don't want to be the one in front of the gat. You'd rather be the one who's holding it. And that's like metaphorical, hade? I just spilled Red Bull on your kicks, B.
No, it's
One taller. The township is something that I feel like we should not be proud of as South African kids. We should be proud that we survived and we can make it work in the hood, you know? And this comes from a chat that I had with my pops. My pops is a poet, he's a writer, he's a historian, you know. And we were having this chat and I was like, yeah, pops, because he only found out I rap last year. It's crazy.
That is.
Same with my mom.
You just described yourself. It's like, describe a time. Because this conversation, you've exhibited a historian, you've exhibited a poet. You know what I'm saying?
Educated.
My mom's always knew like I'm popular at home, right? But like, it just took one day. I told what Dixie was funny. Malita pa I'm interested plastic ira. Kwena me opti Maglera. Okay, I'm thinking, what's this Maglera shit? I'm like, nah, moms, that's my rap name. It's like, why? Then I rapped for her, you know. She was like, hey, what
did you rap for her?
I think it was a verse. I remember I was walking with her, and this is also something I've never told people in interviews. But I was walking with her past a spot where some dude tried raping her when I was a kid. I was 12. I was going to school, and she was a night. Yeah, so obviously, I told her, taxi like hostel. So apparently, dude was like always tracking my moms or some shit like that. So now when I wake up, transport or something like that. It's still blurry because I was a kid, you know, and it was super scary. But what I do remember is my brother was super pissed. This dude and I was walking with her past there, and I was like, yo, moms, you know, I rap about the stuff that hurts, that we've seen. And I was telling her about that situation, and I was walking her to work because I remember after it happened, I would walk her to the taxi rank because I felt like, fuck, I gotta protect my moms, you know. So I spit a verse to her about like something about the hood, you know. It was something very like touching. And after that, she was like, yo, okay, I can see it in your eyes that like, I'm not gonna stop you, you know, and I can see that you're gonna do this shit whether we take you to a school for it or not. But like,
either or.
Yeah, either or, you know. And after that, dog, like, I don't wanna lie, there's so many other things I could speak on that even happened to me in the hood, you know, that I feel like I'm not ready to speak on, but like that's what I represent. You know, those same kids, like, bro, my friends were like, niggas would like go sleep kotoropong for like 6 days. Like, you know, street kids. And then and the one thing my moms would say is just tell them to take a bath, you know, because niggas be smelling like what they were doing. You know, niggas smell like fucking dumpsters. For 6 days. And that's where Strata came from on my side, you know, like representing the hobos for real. The slang we use is hobo slang, you know, like Hagire Colombo. Aona lito na hola adala TV masepa Crash Bandicoot. Ona tseba lenzo la Colombo.
I hate on Crash Bandicoot.
No, I ain't hating. But I'm just saying. Crash. Yo, no cap, that was my shit too. But you know what's the difference between a kid like and no disrespect to you guys, you know, a kid like a me and a kid like a you. I saw Crash Bandicoot because I stole someone's PlayStation 1. You know, and
we borrowed some.
Well, we had to borrow,
for sure.
There's a nigga in the hood.
But I'm saying,
I get you.
We might have been the same, but we got it how we live.
Yeah, 100%.
I didn't want to be a humble kid. I was not trying to accept.
Help or anything.
Or like lower class. Say, hey, at least on a TV game. Nah, fuck that. Fuck that. Lino, litio, what's in your
popanki, but
PlayStation, one toll. And whatever after Kaiba party go the blue conga PlayStation. Tate o tleluwa FIFA, majit. Derengele na le screen. Majita basanya ka re mdimo lokelela PlayStation na le screen. And this is when the PS2 was out. You know, that's when I was playing Tekken. Like, I loved games, dog. Games are the one thing that really like made me wish I had money. That's why, like, even when I was telling you about when we started trapping, we trapped for fly shit. I never trapped to be a fucking drug lord. Nick trapper because Nick kala wana pizza kwa high school nyaka. You know, like obviously stuff like burgers and like a KFC, I saw that, you know, just like any kid or kabo month end body reg. Mara kifita kwa high school nyaka, niggas are selling pizza for like $40. It was like a small box, but I'm like, yo, what are pizza? How can shebo wena mo pokotong se go matene ra mo krizo za mega 10 yo pizza ke for not we gotta re-up, you know,
somewhere somehow.
Yeah, we gotta re-up
because there was a point where pizza was like Yeah, that was.
You
that
were
was,
popping
that
at
was
school.
Yeah, that was. That was. You know,
And after I saw how my friends in town were living, I just wanted to live like that, bro. I was like, hey, no way, I must still be a hood nigga.
Yeah.
Friday, I don't drink beer, bro. I hate beer. I don't drink beer. I don't want the GTI. I don't want to wear sporty, ka Uzi. No, I want to wear LV in the township, you know? I want to fucking... And that's why we say trying to turn the ghetto into Paris on Bodega. You know? If we're going to be in the ghetto, at least let's make it fly. You know?
Yeah.
Because the last part of Bodega is very...
that part where you see...
But Bodega is basically what I spit for my moms, if you're going to ask me. Like,
that especially the last... Because the first part of it is very... You know, bravado,
for sure.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
Chest beating, sort of.
And shout outs to MT, part, man. I wrote Bodega after I heard Roll Up. I was like, this is South African trap music.
Yeah.
When I heard that, and I heard like, the only thing that sounds American is the fact that there's some English in it. And niggas can say the tuning, but it's like, no. This is South Africa. When they called it ATM, I lost my mind. It's like knowing you got a distant cousin. Hey, man, hotboxing till this place is over. I'm never scared, got no pistol on me. When it blew up, I was like, okay, we good.
Yeah. That's why he even shouts out niggas from the Val on my Nando album. I think on Plug, on the track Plug.
What does
And when street culture is one, and I'm excited for hip hop. I didn't see you on the After 25 and a youngster CPT and an MT and a Maglera Doe Boy, what do you think is gonna come next? Let's leave the people who speak on carrying calibers of pistols, etc. That like maybe some people question if they do or they don't, you know. Let's speak about like the slum kids who are gonna feel like Doe Boy hard, but I'm harder. And he comes through harder. Let's speak about the kid in CPT right now looking at youngster like, nah, he good. But like, you know, you know, like, because another thing about hip hop is true hip hop was never scared of the doper rapper. It was sharp sword, sharp as the sword, you know. So it's always exciting to see someone who could spar with you, you know. Actually, a lot of dudes in this game that I want to spar with too. I won't lie. Sometimes I wish we could leave all of the like industry stuff. Mutamfonela felo re ntama wa se bona nka o bolaya mpile ke mo kaliti kata ko Maglera fela for beke re betse mixtape you want to like don't even put it on iTunes, bro. Put that shit on fucking Fakaza for the kids, you know, because that is so necessary now. I think that's why Reese is like very important in terms of the culture of just dropping shit.
That nigga drops, yo.
More
spacing.
That man has got a cult following. Did you see the reaction?
I streamed the whole thing. Like, I saw what he did and was, I don't know, man. Like, to whoever that counted Aries out, and I think they might have...
Counted him out of what?
Like, you know, like, he had a bit of a... I want to say tough year last year, but it was not like, he wasn't like at the top like he used to be. And also because he's constantly compared to Nasty C.
For sure.
So when they look at Nasty C, they're like, Iris, no more.
For sure.
But man.
But I think that's always the customer, bro. They'll either talk about chicken licking or KFC. You know, they'll either talk about...
That's up to the customer.
Damn, man, since kifita go in and hey, but tomorrow free juice. If you don't want to listen to Nasty, listen to Reese. If you don't want to listen to both, go find someone else. You know, the only people I feel like should be really doing those type of comparison stats are the artists, you know. And I say that because of one thing, you know, because of one thing, like, we both know both of those dudes are like really good artists in their own spaces too. You know, that's something that we need to understand. But it's like, you can't have someone who can't define, like you see us, we're people who can define the music and the elements and stuff, right? And you can really say, this one is better than this one. But in terms of and I'm not speaking about the fans, I'm speaking, the people who put up those comparisons are the people doing the numbers. It's always the people doing the numbers. Because in terms of street Grammys, Reese is still hot. You know?
Street Grammys is
Like, you know, in terms of street Grammys, dog, like, that record that nigga did this past weekend, some niggas already know the lyrics, my dog.
Definitely.
You know, in terms of street Grammys, that shit he dropped with Mash now is fucking crazy. In terms of street Grammys, since he left that label, you know, he did a lot. You know, he did a lot.
Label on purpose.
Yeah, man, he say.
You didn't forgive it.
I
said it.
You want to know what it is? You can tell who the street person is and who's not.
I'm far from street.
You know, but more than anything, what a time to be a South African hip hopper, right? Where you can have someone like Aris still be compared to, and not, let's leave the history and stuff, you know. Me, the other thing about me as a hip hopper is I feel like even in the future, I'll probably be in these chats with you guys more than be in the music. Once maybe I've had like my young run, you know, because I feel like I am someone who is for the machine of the culture a lot too, you know. Like I be linking with new wave boys. I tell them like, just because we don't rap the same doesn't mean your dope isn't my dope, you know. But it's still, but it still takes you writing. Don't take us for shit and come without putting content into it. My argument, and I know you see me ranting all the time, you know. Because I hate the lists, dog. I hate the list because if you're gonna make lists, why don't you make a list of people who rap like this and people who rap like this? You can't put someone who made a hit record because of the hook in the same list as someone who dropped like the craziest 16 ever.
Yeah. And we just put you on a list last year.
I nigga my mates.
Man, let me know the listing video.
And what's about VN, and I help.
Let me, whether it helped or not. Whether it helped or not.
I speak on it more like I just wish we had more of that detail.
I agree. I agree completely, bro. I agree completely. And this is why we have the sobering.
Yes, that's why we have these type of platforms, you know.
We're able to dissect things properly, and we're able to put apples with apples.
I love what you said about that. You see, the dissection is what's very key right now for me when I speak like in terms of. It just hurts. I wrote this one thread, right, where I was like, the most painful thing about the game right now is when you're a kid like a me, or I feel like that's why like a Reese or a Nasty or a Shane or anyone who people feels like spits bars, you know, made it. That's why it's such a big deal for when they make it, because we are in a country where people will still mock you for speaking English too well. Right? And that results in now, even when you're a rapper who is top tier, you get mocked because you're rapping too much. But it's like, what do you mean? Bro? What do you mean? What do you mean? Wantola, like, what I love about Bodega is, dog, I am speaking so much on that record. And like, my favorite question is, what does this mean? Because if I'm doing that, I taught a kid something because he's going to go check what it means. You know, like when I say supercalifragilisticexpialidocious with the alphabetic jaw, niggas are like, yeah, I'm getting that idea. Supercalifragilistic, that's like one of the longest words ever. Google. Yo, Sheba Facebook, I go Maglera no, but papa, I was supercalifragilistic. One tall. It's a part of what hip hop was. It was always for the preservation of the black kid. It was always for the education of the black kid, you know? And
I learned so much. We learned so much.
Me too. I know English because of hip hop. I know the flyest words because of hip hop.
I was just thinking about it. I was listening to Jay-Z's I Know. That's where I learned the word vehemently.
We'll never say the word vehemently.
Like, how could you do that with something? Like, after that, I was like, what's this word?
And then I know I used it.
I used it after that, yo.
So I just hope Strata is going to become like, you know, bigger than what we see it as now. You know, I want to speak a bit about it. Strata is a subgenre that we decided to put under Motswako, me and Apu, and basically I feel like Apu is Pharrell and I am Pusha T, or I am the Clips. I am both No Malice and Push, because he's out of this world, man. I can't wait for you guys to hear Apu. I just have to take his music and drop it myself, because he is just like a bit of old school, a bit too much for me. We fight about it a lot, you know, and I know he's gonna shit on me after he sees this. But musically, he pushes me a lot. Like, Apu and them come from like, yo man, your verse sucks, bro. please go write another one. Me, he be telling me that.
It's those things about when you're done, like, are you done? Is that it?
Are you done or are you finished? Is this your king?
Yeah.
Is that your verse?
Yeah.
Like, nah, bro. Don't take us for shit. You know where we come from, you know?
But I have one question I've been trying to ask. I'm going to forget. And if I don't, my girlfriend will kill me. When I discovered Bodega, I played that song like a lot.
For sure.
A lot. And then she was like, you're listening to the song, what language is he speaking? Because, okay, there's English, Mola Mara.
Let me break.
Muleto Banyana. Like, what's that? So okay, what are the girls doing?
Let me break it down, right? So I say mukwebo, which is jewelry.
Yeah.
Designer. Dream, dinero, numeros. That is Latin. That's why she don't know what it means. Because
exactly, that mixture of languages.
Dream, dinero, numeros. Dream of money numbers. I wrote that record off of Google Translate. And all the Latin shit I done watched and all the Portuguese conversations I done had. I'm a sponge of culture a lot, you know? So, dream, dinero, numeros, mulato banyana, mama pray for mañana.
Mulato banyana, what is that?
Mulato is a term that colonizers used to use for...
They actually, they pronounced it mulatto, didn't they?
Yes, for a girl who's half black and half white.
Yeah.
You know, so obviously when I say mulato banyana, I'm talking about how, we like mixed race girls. You know, Mama pray for mañana when I'm by the bodega, Makazana Montana, posted by the bodega. That's just the come up story. I felt like, you know, last time they see a bad guy like this, you know. And then... yeah, that's it.
Fuck, man, I love that song. Even when you sing it like that, it just makes me happy, man.
And my favorite line is like one of the simplest lines there. Sock secret.
For the toes.
It's for the toes.
I was like, that's some fly shit. Sock secret.
And that's where you see the type of South African hip-hop I am too. I can literally say that's a nigga. Mare in my element as like TK. TK. They don't even call me Doe Boy because my real name is Ketokelo. You know, hip hop was just always there. Even when I stopped rapping and I was dancing, the way when I say Ouijan moccasins and a sock secret, it's for the toes. No. Cavella is, you know,
it's Italian.
Cavella is under the bus moccasin. Bus moccasin you get the hot man.
Also, you don't say moccasin, give bus moccasin.
Yes, Ouijan moccasin is there's a bus moccasin, there's a Ouijan moccasin, but I think the one in the same in terms of like design. But the bus moccasin is the one that has Marapoid reader on the front of the kick.
Yes,
the Ouijan moccasin doesn't have those things, but it's still the same type of kick.
Are those brands bus moccasin or is it a type of a shoe?
A moccasin is a type of a shoe.
Yeah, moccasin I know. So I'm like, when you say
Ouijan is a brand.
Oh, Ouijan is a brand.
You see it under the shoe. It's a Ouijan shoe. So it's just like Bodega. The other thing is I was talking about how we are Majita Kogangate the Kotani and always chilling at the shop, you know. In that time of my life when I was a bodega boy, we were always by this one corner store called the Blokonzaka. And we were just always like chilling there, trapping there. That's where we saw niggas die, we saw a nigga get arrested, saw a nigga get his ass whooped, you know. That's where I smoked my first blunt with the boys in the hood, like a blunt is like kibatela yona. But hey nigga, yo, Gucci,
how was that high?
Asian that is already unsharp.
Yeah.
And then to know, like, and it's crazy. I was actually trying to take a break because I've been smoking weed since I was 15. I'm 26 now, and I'm like, how does it feel to be sober? You know, and it's another part of like the institutionalization that I speak about and I think about. Like, as a hood kid, my hood gravitates at such a crazy, how can I say, energy rate for me that when I'm there, I cannot be sober or like I get agitated quick, you know, because you're dealing with a nigga who just smoked some goof. Abara crystal, abara cat, abara zolo, abara bojwala, abatshwaka gunye. Utlala na hemo.
Fuck, man.
Ha o kopana le mane ra ba ge fitu ya choose on so se pikisi. Ya na hemo lwana le motho ya energy at least like to smoke a blunt for this nigga. But it's like, those are the questions I ask myself and in the music too. And you guys will hear, I'm doing 2-player now, it's done, right? I got MT and them on the remix, you know. I got DJ Speedster, MT, Gemini Major, Pretty Ugly on the Bodega remix. And I think I'm gonna call it Bodega Boys Forever, actually. You know, it's something that I've been thinking about. Like, all of those niggas for me, maybe Jem, like, aside a bit because he's more of like Malawian cultured, you know. But like, he's still in a way a Bodega boy because like a lot of foreign nationals in South Africa, like, I came up. The reason why I can speak to a Gemini Major is because I was a Bodega boy who had Malawian friends. When I greet Gemini, I greet him in Chichewa. You know, which is like one of the native languages there. And I learned that in the trap, you know, which is another thing about South African street culture. South African trap culture is knowing how to speak like a lot of the foreigners, you know. Like, I love that about MT. You know, it's dope. Yeah. It's dope.
Do you speak Portuguese as well? Because you've been with a lot of Portuguese girls.
Just like a little bit.
Just a little
bit, you know, just a little bit. Not to a point where I can really say, like, I just have a thing for Portuguese girls. Like, I don't know if it was like, you know, the Scarface movies and just the New Yorker thing. Like, for me, once I started knowing these are the people I want to emulate, but in a South African way, I listened to so much 50 and all the New York niggas, and you know, there were like Dominicans there, Latin people there, and my hood is like very West Coast orientated. Like, niggas there love like,
man, that's every hood, man. Park.
That's not every hood.
And you know, speaking about
who's
Park,
that are like is Coast.
Speaking about Park,
I agree with.
I like Biggie more than Park, but niggas always compare me to Park.
Every hood, dog.
Like most hoods,
been to every hood. I don't think every hood would be.
Well, but like, you know what I mean. South Africa, well, a lot of hoods resonate more with like
with Park than like
with the West.
With Biggie. I mean, Biggie rapped too much for them. You know, I like Biggie because Biggie was a dope boy.
He was too
Let me put it
subliminal, and he was too. You know what I mean.
Let me put it this way: Shaville was more East Coast because they were about Wu-Tang.
Something it's about like GP, Lyical specifically. Like, niggas had hip hop.
Like, that's what I'm saying. There's like we had like sections that were like
that you can dissect it.
But majority was still, you know what I mean.
What's about the Timbaland?
Yeah, there was that,
but nobody, I mean, nobody would smack you for saying Biggie's whack. Somebody will smack you for saying Pac is whack. Anybody that listens to Biggie, you know, listens to hip hop.
No.
It's people that don't listen to hip hop.
No,
they listen to Pac.
They listen to Pac.
And
I think by virtue of its Pac, West.
I'm not arguing the Biggie and Pac thing. I'm saying not all hoods are West Coast.
But if we are speaking about Biggie and Pac chance, can we just say Biggie was like a better rapper?
The better rapper.
I'm still going back. I'm listening to friggin' even the posthumous stuff that Pac could do. Hit, dog. You listen to Little to My Unborn Child, I still listen to that ish, dog. You know what I mean?
And it's
till the end of time. I was listening to till the end of time yesterday, though.
Even RL sound good on there,
bro.
I think I'm just a Biggie stan because of one thing, ne? Once I was introduced to Biggie, like, I introduced myself to Biggie now. I went and listened to album Give Me the Loot, Montola. And when I found out he did Give Me the Loot alone, you guys know that record?
Give Me the Loot.
Give Me the Loot. Yeah. When I found out that's him doing
like the voices and
everything, you know, I was like, okay, this is like, you know, this is like fucking artistic. This is someone who took his time versus how I felt about Pac was a voice, you know? He was like a very strong voice.
But Pac was very spiritually inclined. Yeah. Like, for me, like, but when you're reaching that level, dog, like, I don't want to confuse passion for skill.
Yeah.
Bro.
But with Pac and
in order
Biggie,
for you to articulate something to a point where every layman can relate.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Abu always says that. He says if you can give it to them simply, like,
you can give it to them to that point, bro. There's so much power to that. I will always admire that skill levels are everything. But sometimes, like when you listen to what's the staring at the world through my review, bro, and then he breaks down what he means, but by talking about staring at the world through your review, bro.
I want to know how to like, niggas have had these chats so many times with me about Park.
We'll go.
But yeah, can I tell you something about Park? Park is a full human being.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not taking from
no.
The full
I'm talking
element.
about the music. Yeah. He's a full human being. Yo. Park would give you Black Panther.
Sure.
And Park would give you pimp shit.
Sure.
Park would give you I love my mama.
Sure.
Park would give you that's the reason why we call you bitch.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
But
Biggie, I didn't have enough time to even have a lot.
But
you know.
But I'm getting now. If we're gonna be like saying, if we're gonna put people on a scale, right? We need to understand both elements of them. Biggie was not as artistic as a Park.
Artistic is not the word I'd use.
For you to be able to be full human like that, expression. Park was taught expression crazy, just.
Yeah.
And
it makes sense.
When I speak for Biggie, like I'm speaking for Biggie, I'm saying with what he had, all Biggie really had was like the videos that Diddy and them gave him. If we're talking about in terms of where he learned how to be what he was, articulating like that, like what's that? Niggas wanna stick me for my paper.
Damn, niggas wanna stick me for my paper.
From when you, now who the fuck is this? Paging me at 5:46 in the morning, crack of dawn, while I'm yawning. Can see the talk out my eyes. Am I feeling me, bro? One taller. That is what I speak on when I say like, in terms of old hip hop. When we spoke about the core elements of hip hop, what would have been considered rocking the crowd? Every time I speak about hip hop, I'm not speaking about it like, the Lamborghini is fly. Like if we're gonna talk about OG car designs from like the ground up to now, you know, he would have still been like the OG Pontiac versus like how I feel like Park maybe, you know, niggas will feel different.
Yeah, we can speak about Escalades at some point and stuff.
It's tricky, that thing. And we're gonna wind up. We're gonna wind up talking about like opinions.
Opinions, bro. But we'll have this chat, man. Like when the more you grow, because I remember even having these conversations with cats, because now was super battle heavy and all of that jazz, and then you talk to people they'll be like, yo,
I just heard those Park talks for years though.
No, I heard them as well, and I would always also say talk to Biggie-ish. But once you grow up as a dude and you're seeing life, and then you remember a Park line, bro.
Park has a line for anything you're going through in life.
Everything.
Yo, like maybe like, you know, you listen to like a suicidal thought. You know, I'm telling you, like you listen to like a suicidal thought by Biggie, and you're just like, ah, shit. You know what I mean? But then you listen to Park going time.
And I give you so hip hop.
Gets me high. Make me feel
I would
crazy.
just always say, what's the best way I can say, dog? If hip hop was a ring, boxing ring, right? In terms of the elements of the style of boxing, I fuck with. You know?
Okay.
Biggie was more my type of boxer than a Park, you know?
So who... I don't understand that. Which kind of boxer do you like?
I mean, what type of... There's two styles of boxing, right? It's like southpaw and...
No, that's just like left and right. Southpaw, left.
Okay, that definition, because I don't know much about boxing.
Usually, like, how boxer...
Or let's go skating. There's people who skate goofy
and regular.
Yes. I would have liked more Biggie style of skating, you know?
Yeah.
Or if we're talking street or vert, same thing, you know? The comparison isn't really like as relative, but you know, that's what I mean.
Yeah, I think street of vert is more
For
like
sure.
of a thing, yeah.
Those are them hip hop talks, man. We want to bring it back. Let's talk your relationship with Khuli.
For sure.
And how that stemmed, you know, Khuli and Toady. I think you also mentioned Toady on Have Nots as well.
And KG too, when I say me and Jism flip it like a laptop.
Yeah.
So my relationship with Morafe, you know, is they just don't want to say it, but I always say I'm the fourth member of Morafe. You know? Sometimes I feel like I am a reincarnation of like a lot of them specifically in terms of like Motswako, the Motswako lista I am. You know, I was a fan of Jabba, just like any other kid from the Northwest. I was a fan of Mo. I was a fan of Tux a little, but I didn't understand his Tswana so much, you know, because I'm really like not that... My mom's in Dematswana, you know, but like, would you understand? I'm a township kid. I am a cesspool of the slang where we come from. I speak to my dad. I speak to my moms. Russia, Montola. So I think Montola. Like Morafe. When I heard Morafe, and it's because of Todi is a Klerksdorp native. Todi's mother still lives in Maglera. So I feel like, and I said it in an old interview, I just wasn't saying it the right way, because then I used to say Motswako started in Maglera. But what I wanted to say, which I can say now, is a part of Maglera culture is in Motswako from when Todi was going to Mafikeng and using the slang that was like more native to us than it was to a Maf. You know, not to say they didn't have it, but it's like there are certain elements that you can just hear a Maglera, you know? So first person I bumped into was Todi, and I speak on it on Have Not. And Todi's my old head, and shout outs, weed is legal now, so I can speak about it. But Todi actually came to the trap to buy some weed. And one of my dudes came to me, was like, yo man, I got this dude here, Todi Mac, he wants some weed. I'm like, Todi Mac? I'm like, I ain't selling that nigga no weed. If y'all niggas ever have Todi Mac here, he'll tell you guys how big that head was. I was like, this one, it's wakale rap. It's a kopo ikana, and it's almost juicy, it's all stock. Good shit, it's a diamond kwal. Remember me, Twar. And then he went to the radio station at home, and he was on air, and I think it was just one of those chats like, yo, so who's dope right here now? And they were like, nah, Maglera Doe Boy, MDB. You know, I was like, yo, call that nigga, have him pull up to the studio. Then I pull up and he's like, hey, but no, just saw me though. You know? And then I rap about it on the mic. Then it's like, dog, you are Maglera as fuck, you know? And then back and forth chats, you know, these are like my early Twitter days. It's like roundabout when I met you guys too, you know? So we ended up having one of those chats like, yo, pull up to my place. Let's see, maybe we make some music, you know? And one thing I kept stressing to niggas from my youth too now is like, I don't want to be like your artist. I want to like, we can link up, you know, yo, if you have a brand, we have a brand too. And we might be small town, we might not know much about it, but we want to start now so that by the time it's worth anything, we know what to do with it, you know? So I met Todi, and then him and I back and forth with a lot of work. He was putting me on in some spaces, you know? And then after when Khuli was doing One Source, Apu hit me up. Apu Ankere started Strata with me. He actually gave it the name, you know? He gave it the name, and then he was like, you are obviously more active, so you can like just push it more on a youthful sense, but he will bring the OG to it. You know, he is also the one who filtered, and he's a big part of my Morafe story, which is why I add him to it. He taught me how to filter it too, how to say it the right way, because Apu was doing the same shit I was doing. They were making like, we call it basement music. Like that type of music you only play in the basement with your boys. If you play to Satwa Dijana, this shit. So after I met Todi, fast forward, Apu calls me, he's like, yo man, I just started vibing with Khuli, and I think I might produce his album. And if I do, even if I just get you on one record, you know? And then he hit me up. Khuli got him a place for a year to produce the album. And it was like, pull up, you know, we trapping, but you can do your thing, you know? And I was like, dog, you know we hungry. And this is like post-bowl, 19XX, you know? So it's like, I had reached the peak of what I could do for myself in terms of from where I was at, you know? Because I was pushing this shit from Maglera, coming here, sleeping at Fred's place, Jay's place, you know. Fred was like my immediate plug. Shout outs to Fred, man. Him and Jay, like,
we had mad conversations about it,
They were a big part of my life, you know. And they taught me hip hop. Like, I never knew how much of a hip hopper I was until my chats with Fred. Then he would show me the timelines and explain what like a dead president meant to the culture of like American hip hop. Told me about Jay-Z and Big L and them. And then I was just like, okay, so this is what we can be. So I meet Khuli. I give him a verse on a record that's still unreleased. He's probably going to drop it with, he wants to do this project for like a My Throne compilation with like all of the artists that he's fucking with. And he'll probably put it on that. It's called Numbers. And surprisingly enough, that song was supposed to be Khuli featuring Snoop. You know, because he was still working with that big brand, and I don't know if he still is. I just don't want to say that name because I don't know how this shit with brands work. And get Ronava so repatale for this collar.
Yeah.
But it was supposed to be Khuli and Snoop, and I just gave him a crazy verse. I actually put like 4 different verses on that song, and all of them were hot. And he was like, "Hey, we're so a guy." Then everyone was hitting with the "I told you so." Fred was like, "I told you so." Told you was like, "I told you so." You know, Abu obviously was more of like a dope "I told you so," but like a lot of people had told him about him, had told him about me, and after that record, he was like, "So, where you at with your career?" And I was like, "Dog, you know, right now, ne, I don't want to lie, I am like charging niggas a K for a verse at home, and that's just to be able to like." At least I got some money from the music, but we're not on radio. We're not getting like crazy paying shows. I think I would get like maybe 2 shows a year that were hosted by my boys. And he was like, "Yo, I don't even want to lie." Because of like what happened with him and other artists that came before, like your Noties, and people don't know a lot about like him and KT, but I think KT's like one of the artists he had like tried putting on the same way. You know, but he was like, "I really don't want that artist responsibility of trying to sign someone. So I'm going to give you advice." And he's actually the one who was like, "You must open a label with your boys and own all of your shit. And you just partner up with dudes like me or anyone else that you want to partner up with when you know this can make money for the both of us. And it needs minimalistic elements minus like just a bag and the right plugs to plug it, you know." But he did say to me, "I am not like P. Diddy in the game here where my cosign is going to get you on every radio station. I'm just going to try. I'm just going to try to push as much as I can, because if we both own something, or if I've put in something into a product, then I will push it for you like I push it for my shit, you know." And it was a very crazy time in his life, you know. So I spent that like 2-3 years with him really just learning. It was like the most beautiful time to learn to be a performer. Like that's the one thing Khuli has taught me fucking hard, bro. Like confidence on stage, because you performing next to a Khuli Chana, you gotta level up. That man jumps this high, dog. Literally like jumps over niggas' heads. You know, he used to be a gymnast, so he still has those elements. You know, like he's so animated. You know, he taught me like Busta Rhymes and ODB, like woo-ha, like you see that animation, you know, those are the elements that we spar. We spar a lot, you know. My relationship with Khuli is not, I mean, when it started, obviously, because he wanted me to pull out of a lot of like the culture that we were in at home, he was like, "I'm gonna need you to like just cut away anything that you don't need to do anymore for a bag, or just because you don't have any money. You know, like, brother, just hit me up, you know, let's go make some money. I'll put you in one of my sets, you know, I slide you some guap. Sometimes I just get them to book you, you know, let's make some records so you're in the mix. And then from there, let's just mix, you know." And he's always been that guy. He did it with Gigi, he did it with Keenan, you know, and I liked that, you know, and I liked more than anything that the aspect of, and you can still do what you want with your shit, you know. Like, obviously, if there's anything that we've invested in both ways, he has to be a part of it out of respect for any man's money, you know. But if I'm being for real, I said, this is what I said to Khuli in Cape Town. After he took me to Red Bull, I was like, I do not wonder what happened to Ricky. Because it's when it was happening with Ricky and Stogie, and no disrespect to the homies. I'm just like, at that point, that was the greatest example I could give him to say, I don't want a situation where I'm the little homie who feels somewhat about the big homie, or vice versa, or it's happening like that. Let's rather like just put it on the table now. So it is what it is, you know? And then when the music was like really popping, and him and I felt like, yo, dog, let's drop. My boys passed away, you know? My boys passed away. I lost like half the crew, and this is like the ASAP mob losing like Ferg and like just like the 3 of like the core players in the crew, you know? And that is a part of why people never really got to see what he saw at that time, you know, which is like 2 years ago. If niggas remember properly, Khuli dropped an Instagram post and he said, I've never been a dude who liked signing artists, but I just partnered up with Maglera Doe Boy now. Like, he was really excited. But when that happened, it was like such a crazy blow for me, like mentally, I am still now prepping myself to showcase that music, you know, like Bodega is one of the records that was made in that time before the boys died, because it was such a good time for us. We all felt like, oh shit, it's about to happen, TK is on a record with Khuli and Casper, you know, he just got next on like so many lists, you know, like he's on fucking TV. It's like, okay, no matter what, niggas are gonna hear. And then I just took like a year and a half, which is like up until now, saying like, going back and forth with Khuli, saying, look for like dope deals for us, you know, look for the right people, like 2Play is something that we partnered up on this project. In terms of the sounds are all me. The creative direction is all me, but he has been key in like the decisions that made me feel like I wouldn't have seen it like that, or I wouldn't have thought of shooting it like that, like Bodega, you know, like the cinematic aspects that I never saw, because he is a good filter for me sometimes in terms of you don't really need to take it that deep. You know, sometimes you want to make it look fly, baby. He's like Harlem as fuck too. I love that. He'd be like, Ntwana, and that's how he speaks. Like, what's Ntwana? Instead of like, we sequestrating, we need to put you in a Maybach with like, let me show you this Nas video. Then we'll go like to like 89 Nas, you know, and be like, this is you, B, you just don't, you know? And sometimes it's not him trying to box me or something. That's just like how he feels. Like to say like, you make me feel like when we saw this, he's a fucking fan of the music. Like, like every time I play my shit, dog, every time we play this tape, we always have a fucking loop where we play the tape, like the whole tape. Then it's like deep chats. Then it's like, I don't know who we must take it to, you know, but it's like right now where we're at, we've had those chats so much. We're just at that point where like, we just want to get it out. It has to move. You know, we just want to get it out. And so many people from like the big machines have hit me up. Yeah. But what I'm going to do now, because I mean, it's fun and all dropping for the culture, but we still do want to eat from this. And because my boys died making this project with me, I wanted to like, I wanted to max out, you know, I wanted to be like something in the culture that, even if it's not like countrywide, but it must represent that time of my life. Because it is like a timeline. It is really a timeline of when, quote unquote, Doe Boy started blowing up and blowing up in the trap. That's why a record like Mortal Kombat is so important, because I just caught a flight. I'm flying back and I'm going to the hood and explaining to niggas how it feels like when the plane leaves the ground. But Smamang of is also last week. You know, it's like it's bittersweet, you know. And he is the element that just made it fun, you know. Like first flight was with Khuli. First time I drove like a fucking foreign, you know, it was like, you've never driven Twana. You know, like when he sees me, he never had a big brother. You know, so when he sees me, he feels the same way. He's like, I remember how it felt like being the kid who didn't know how to drive, and all your friends come from houses with cars and shit. And maybe you're the most popping, but it's like, how can you be popping but you can't drive, you know? And then like, we'll be driving like in the north. He's like, it's in Twana. North, one taller.
Can I go to rest in Martin?
I don't think there's anything that's happened in his life that's fly from when we met that he didn't try to expose me to, you know, like, and in a sense, you're like, I don't want to hold you back, you know, still drop your music, still do shit. I just want to be a part of the story. And in terms of business, you know, I won't cap. It's a smart move too for him to be with a dude like me, because if you're a part of a story like that, you just might shift the culture for real, you know? I think everyone wants to be the Rick Rubin with a Travis if they can. Everyone wants to be Leo Cohen with a Dre if they can, you know? And that's just how he broke it down to me. He was like, I'm not gonna lie to you and act like I'm just like fucking fan. Ooh, no, I can also see like what you're gonna do. And I feel like, you know, a lot of dudes are sleeping and I'm not gonna, you know. A lot of people were scared of me as a product before a lot of the stuff that I learned with the Don. Like he Don for real. A lot of niggas is on because of Khuli, and he never says it, you know. He never says it, and the ones who do say it, you know, are the ones maybe who like his relations with them like are still like super tight. You know, people grow up, a lot of stuff happens in life. But it's like just from the back to I've just seen like so much. That is, it was Jabba, then it was Khuli, and then it was Cass, right? Can I say that?
I think so, in terms of the Motswako.
Yeah, because when it was Jabba, the in-betweeners with Jabba were also Molimi, but I'm talking like...
There was Stooks as well.
Yeah, but like top tier Motswako moments, like, you know, when they can really say like, us as Motswako, we like had our moments, you know, it was like those three, you know, and the culture of passing the torch, you know, is a very big thing too in the culture of Motswako, because of the fact that sometimes we are all we got, you know. That's the one thing that like I sort of felt with Motswako, like when we'd go to like how can I say, like any of the big shows that came before, like your Cotton Fest and your, what else came after Cotton Fest? Okay, let's just say Cotton Fest, because
more Back to the City.
Yeah, but I was never a part of Back to the City. Jay took me to Back to the City twice. You know, that's when I was getting like tickets just to see. You know, that's when I was getting like, okay, at least now I can see the hip hop. Like when I came to Back to the City was the first time I saw like back to back hip hop playlists and niggas know the songs. You know, I was like, hey, Maglera Musa. Hey, Maglera, you play hip hop? Yeah, man, like, well, they'll play for like an hour. This is a show where it's just hip hop, my nigga. You know, it was like beautiful to see. And then when I saw like Maftown Heights, I was like, nah, we good, bro. Yeah. I'm here with like Motswako. You know, and everyone else is here too. Josie's here, you know, Durban is here, because those lineups were like, when because I don't think they do Maftown Heights anymore. I still want to ask Khuli, like, what's up?
Didn't they do one last year?
They did it.
I think maybe the year before, not last year. To Maftown.
No, they took it to the Northwest. I don't think it was in the Northwest. Maftown Heights was always in Jersey.
Yeah, it was always
that's what we say. They moved it.
Yeah, the last one was.
They took it.
Yeah, the big beef.
2018.
The big beef with some of the dudes from the Northwest was actually the fact that it's a show called Maftown Heights, but it's in Joburg. But the way he broke it down to like us who were close to him was like, I was trying to take Motswako to Joburg for us, you know. There was no other show that was representing us before then.
And he did it, man. I won't lie.
No lie. No lie. For years, how long did they do it? Like 10 years?
Some KFC in the back, you know. It was a good time.
And then in terms of KG, who is the last element of Morafe, he's just like big bro, dog. I don't want to lie. He's like, he is the glue for that family and me too sometimes with them in terms of understanding some stuff, you know, like personal stuff. Like I was seeing more KG than Khuli when I started going to Apu's place, because at that time Khuli had linked with that brand and was doing a lot of work with them. So KG would come to the house to check on like Khuli's mixes and stuff. And I was just trapping at Apu's to say, yo, every time Khuli sends a song here, yeah, and I had like first dibs, you know. Yeah. I had like first dibs. And to this day, dog, it's crazy. It's crazy for me to say there was a time in my life when all I wanted to do was meet Khuli Chana versus Khuli Chana having an album called Planet of the Have-Nots, and that was inspired by me. You know, like that was like fucking crazy for me. Like I remember when I made that song, it's when like he was going through like the craziest time of his life, you know, like personal stuff with like the mother of his child at the house, you know. Him and I were turning up a lot. I was actually making him smoke a lot of weed because I was like, we need to stop drinking, you know, because for me as a kid who comes from a small town, obviously it's dope to have access to all of a sudden a bottle of Hennessy whenever. But after some time it gets like, yeah. And I think that's another element of what he loves about me too. You know, I am like the shooter in the family somewhat, you know. I will be like, because I always want people to know I am firstly ONDE, and ONDE is my crew and my label.
What does it stand for?
Organized Nubian Divine Entities, you know.
Such a part, man.
It's such a part, man.
It's such a part, man.
So just like linking up with them, you know, they are. I love the street blueprint of building mob families, you know, and I feel the same way about ATM, you know. When I see an MT now, the boys show me love. I don't know them much, you know, but it's like I don't see just MT. I see an extended family, ATM. When I see 25K, I got extended family in PTA, you know, and that's me, Libo Khuli too. It's just with him, it's closer because he's Maglera as fuck too. That's something that like I say because of how much when he comes to Maglera, when he's with me in Maglera, he remembers when Morafe was sleeping on couches in Maglera, when they made some of the music that became the album, the whole thing in Maglera before they could ship the demo to like alarms, you know, and when they made me, it was like, dog, you are like so Maglera. Like Khuli's biggest memory in Maglera is Maglera niggas saying, why y'all muff niggas only smiling and shit, coming through with this happy rap and shit, you know, because them niggas is like, you know, Maglera niggas is, you know, PTSD'd up, you know, aggro, you know, like, and you can hear it in even my music. Sometimes I'm like, damn, this shit is way too Maglera. Like, and sometimes I go too deep into that. So when I see Khuli, Khuli's like, I'm Ace, he money making rich, you know. He got love for the game, you know. He got love for the game. He see me, he see the game. He's like, damn, baby, I just want to ice you out, you know. If that's the last thing I do, baby, I just want to get you the motherfucking, you know, M3 with the VVS's. Because I think another thing that he hasn't said, but is him with me is, I am sort of one of the last things he wants to leave in the game in terms of the things Khuli Chana has done, you know. He had given up on a lot of things, not on himself as a musician, but just like relations with artists, you know, building stuff from scratch, you know. And then we just became like a breath of fresh air for each other, like both ways, bro. Like, damn, I can't stress enough. This nigga took me to Shelf Life, wanted to buy me an expensive ass Nike. I was like, nah.
Yeah.
Right? Let's put that in a video.
Yeah.
You know, that's what he like. Like, this how I know you, my nigga. You know, when they wanted to go to like a Kong or something, and I'd be like, nah, leave me with those beats. And then the next day when he's coming, he's like, yeah. You know. And when I slip, he would be that element to say, yo, man, you must never forget that hunger. You know, when you forget that hunger, you start slacking, you know. Yeah. I haven't even seen him since like last year after we shot Ichu. After we shot the Ichu video, because that's how tight we are. Like, he's there, I'm here. You know, he was so proud of me when I was going to Cape Town for the first time on my own now when I went to Red Bull. Because he was like, you really doing this, baby. And like, they calling me. They like, yo. Even when AKA posted Bodega, he was like, I'm so happy you did that on your own. Because like, he really doesn't want to babysit me. You know, he's just like an entrepreneur, one, and two, a motswakolista who can see both of those elements in me and being beneficial, one, for the culture that we both represent, and two, just for the extended family that we are, you know. So shout out to Morafe, man. Them niggas, you know, they just gotta put me in that crew, you know, call me like Morafe lista. Yeah. But it's not just them, bro. Yeah. It's PH, you know. It's a Reason. Reason gave me that verse on Plug Talk. He never even met me. You know, he went to the studio, he heard that verse, he was like, who the fuck is this kid? You know, I'm coming back from Cape Town after we shot All Hail. I get in that studio. PH is like, yo, I want to surprise you. Boom. He's on the hook. I'm already losing my mind. I got the dude who made Twada on a hook, you know. And then after I just hear money, get the money. I'm like, who's this like Reason? Done, you know. And then after it just started coming back to back, dog. Like, Khuli came to Maglera. We did Anjos, you know. Just like now with Bodega. Everyone on that tape is pro bono, bro. Everyone on that tape is like, no manager in between. Everyone on that tape is a nigga who was like, bro, you really deserve this win. And this is what I can give you for this, you know. From the cover to the features, like, it is like 3 years of like real niggas, you know. And that's why 2Play is so special to me. Right now I'm doing another tape. It's called God Mob. And the God Mob is like the org in Onde, which is like all of the little homies from at home that I believe in, like production-wise and rap-wise. And they're on it. And same thing. So many young niggas are on it already. You know, like I want to drop 2-player so I can like leak Godmob one of these days. I'm not even gonna give niggas a date for Godmob. I'm a Frank Ocean motherfucker. Just drop that shit and keep quiet. You know, Godmob. Kita tetse album.
Yeah, snap, man.
Wow, man.
And that bodega moment, like how was that when it just got the second life, basically?
Like now, right?
Yeah, like right now, like, you know, AKA.
Because people are treating it like it's new. It's like
Ricky's like, yo.
I feel like it was always ahead of its time.
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like I am ahead of my time a lot. You know, I feel like, bro, I've made records from like high school that if I redid now, niggas would be like, oh my God.
Yeah. Trust me, I've heard some of those.
Like
things. I couldn't believe it, man.
This guy is probably like one of the people who can vouch and say like, this nigga has been like this for a while, you know. And I loved one thing, you know, that I never wanted to speak about, but I love the fact that you were so clear on telling niggas this song is old. In that other podcast you had, Lidai Sister, give me respect.
Oh, yeah.
Now you know catch the feelings. People are obliged to have their own, you know.
Yeah.
I remember that one. Yeah, that was
cool.
Yeah.
One thing that I did feel, you know, and maybe I'm wrong, is maybe that energy was just there because the cosign was from Cass and not that many people in the game sometimes fuck with his cosigns.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like now with MT and them being one and then Mega co-signing it, some people might be like, ish.
That was a change of mind.
You know, and sometimes, dog, you're allowed to like not understand for the first time.
Yeah.
True.
When they put souffle and creme brulee on the table, it's not like what's it, maybe next time we tuba sharp. Are we Latin smoothies? Yeah, this is really one taller. Like I'm saying, I'm still learning to articulate it so that it is in the layman, like you were saying with the park, you know. I got a lot of information in this fucking dome.
I know.
So regurgitating it is like still like something I'm trying to perfect. I'm a writer, bro. Like I spend like 2 days on niggas verses if I'm getting a feature, which is why I feel like not a lot of people have murked me on records, you know? Not to say niggas didn't murk records. I'm just saying like a bar for bar, you know. Ali versus Kimanda Manolo on a Thriller in Manila on Tola. I'm like a Tyson with my raps. So like when I come through, I punch the hardest because that might be my last verse. And I just want that in SA hip hop. I get very antsy. I get so touched if I'm with someone in studio and I feel like they're not putting in the same amount of effort. If Negito Palama Taxi from Maglera, or ke zwa ka Lyical, or ke tlo kena mo studio, ke tlo rap o nyela. No, I'm gonna make sure I eat you up even more. And I might say it in the song. Because we must never think that it's bad for the kids in SA to push for a bigger envelope. Every time I rant and stuff and I see other dudes rant, niggas are always so quick to act like we're being too extra. But it's like it is so important for us to teach black kids to be smart, not to encourage them to be dumber. You know, you could be in the club saying turn up, but like, yo, you can say it and still say, you're fine being smart, you know. Like sometimes all of this turn up music just says fuck the smart kid. And then that causes that depression. And that depression sucks of saying like, I'll never pop because I'm too smart. I'm speaking too much of the truth. No, that is vile. That is a hate crime. I wrote it on one of my statuses. I was like, regressive music is a hate crime to the black kid. Because let's not lie. You fucking them up. And that what the personal element for me is my niece singing this shit. My nephew singing this shit. You wanna tell me I'm wrong for rapping about selling dope, but you're saying cap. If challenge then let's talk about it from both sides, you know. If we're gonna stop, let's all stop, you know. And let's at least have like a good reason behind it. You know, why are you saying no disrespect to the homies. Everyone's allowed to like make their own bag. But I just feel like sometimes, you know, hey man, yo. Ngwana kwa haya ka nyoba ne ke bana ba motho. Yo.
Hey, step, man. I don't even know, like, but like now it's like, yo, it's really like this good time for you.
For sure.
You know what I mean? It's like an open window.
For sure.
Right now.
It scares me so much.
Yeah, I can imagine like the pressure that you feel, because now it's like you get this high that, oh shit, yo, people is messing with this. You know what I mean? And it's like, yo, this is even, y'all don't even know what I'm working on right now. It's like my own shit, you know what I mean? You know? And like you know, you killed the features on the slick joints as well. For sure. And all of the new wave, like, they hail you like so high. Like when I when a Willie tells me about you, it's like, yo, Maglera.
Which Willie?
Champagne.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Champagne, when they talk about you,
shout
like,
out my boy.
You know what I mean? They like, yo, this dude lit. He just came from scooping you with Windows.
For sure.
And Windows 2000 is like, yo, this guy just recorded my favorite verse for 2020.
And what I love about that, is me showing dudes, like when we speak about like a Willie or like a Windows 2000 and you call them new wave, it's just I wasn't out when a lot of people were out, but in terms of where I am as a hip hopper, I feel like I am such a middle child, you know.
I can agree with that.
I am everything that came before.
Yeah.
But when trap and them were coming through, I was like one of the first dudes to actually study those waves and create my own and not hate.
Yeah.
You know, but what I will always hate, because it was there even before trap or anything, is like sometimes some people just don't write, you know?
Yeah. And you just hate whack shit.
I won't call it that, you know?
What do you call it?
Man, it is what it is, man.
I call it finger paintings next to like a Van Gogh, you know? I get touched.
Yeah.
I get touched. Like if the gallery is gonna put the finger painting next to my Van Gogh, I need that guy to speak to me about his fingerprints in detail and how they made it like Van Gogh level or something, you know?
Okay.
A lot of dudes will make like something so simple, and I get the element that you were speaking about like being like a park and sometimes dropping it like in the layman so people can get it. But sometimes this is hip hop, bro. This is hip hop. Like I was watching KRS, right? And I was like, it's crazy how I never knew about KRS-One up until last year. And when I say knew about, I mean like understood why he was so important to hip hop, right? Up until I heard him break down certain elements of hip hop and why it existed and why it's so important for us as the Negro to own hip hop and to understand what hip hop was before it gets ruined, just like everything else that goes corporate. Because corporate is just there to sell burgers, bro. You know, they want something that can fucking sell up until niggas is fat, over consuming, and then they'll bring something else, you know? I feel like that's what happened with Amapiano last year. That shit came through fucking hard. By the time it was January, everyone was tired. Like, yo.
They're not tired. You saw go Cotton Fest.
But I mean more in terms of like that newness of it. Niggas are still not tired of new wave. Versus like all the Mapiano shit, like same tempo, be sounding a bit, you know, the same. Yeah. You go to Cotton Fest, you check the new wave stage, there's like 10 niggas who sound different, but it's new wave. You know, there's so many elements to it, you know? And same thing, no disrespect to the Yanos, you know, but like we are African kids. We could put so much more content on this shit and still make it fun. You know,
but you see, focus on it, and you know, and he's
you saw my tweet about him.
And you just like everybody saying focus.
Niggas mustn't act like he is not being hip hop, and he's staying true to the elements of hip hop.
He's nice,
still making it fun. You know,
I like that.
And even content wise, it's fun, but it's not regressive. The regressive element, like I don't care. You cannot feed your kids by like feeding our kids bullshit. That is vile. That cannot work. That is something that like I will vouch for forever, bro, you know. As much as we talk about dope dealing, chilling by the corner, etc., I don't say to a kid, go sell the dope or it's fun. No, I'm just speaking about where it comes from, you know. Any nigga who feels some type of way about what I say about like the regressive content can come at me and say like, but you do said this or you do said this, but like I'm one of the dudes who can actually say I regret saying some stuff, You know, I regret those elements in my life. Like when I shot Nostalgic and I put all those niggas in the video and then this many of them are dead. I know I escalated those beefs a bit, you know, because I got warnings myself to say, don't go here. Don't go here, you know. You still see it now. Like some niggas in Maglera beef with me for real right now. Like, yo man, fuck that nigga. You know, fuck that nigga, fuck those niggas, you know, because I got the dude in my video who killed your cousin, you know. No matter how dope my raps are, no matter what I'm saying, that's still the dude who killed your cousin, you know. It is what it is. And that's a pill that like I have to like make dissolve myself, you know. But what I do at home is I have like claimed no affiliation anymore. What I do is I chill with everyone, even all these gangs. Like what I want to do at home is actually like when I was shooting Nostalgic, I was trying to have all these boys in one place saying this is what we may be, but together this is what we are. And that's actually what happened. It was just like two crews, you know? But those two crews were fighting before that video. You know, the stadium was locked. That's where we shot that video. So we jumped into the stadium. The videographer was so scared because there is no point of exit. It's us and like 40 niggas, you know. Machita was already going into the car. Machita refita go stadium, but artapaning. Let's search each other. You know, obviously they're gonna search us because we ain't got no weapons. But you know, niggas are like pit bulls, dog. If you show a dog fear, you make it scared. So, me, I was like, some get cheap, a bad idea. And like, you know what we're trying to do. And once niggas saw that, and once niggas saw like, this kid isn't scared of this shit, he's willing to like do this shit for the block. We might as well just put him on that pedestal for the hood, you know. Give me more purpose for the music. And that is the same reason why when I come here, I am so anti all this other shit. Because I also know about that corner that people put those type of kids in, right? But they be doing all this other shit. If dudes want to talk about the type of hip hop we are and what we represent, but they still call... I stopped calling women bitches in my songs years ago. A lot of dudes won't notice that. I said it once last year in a song. The backlash from home. Because girls were like, no, we find what you're talking that gangster shit. What's up with you calling women bitches though, you know? And it's because of also how much like when I stopped, I really stopped, you know? And I stopped because I heard Vince say it in a song. I love Vince. Like you see when I see Vince Staples, that's like the type of street rapper I think I can work towards being, you know, in terms of like visualizing street culture, being comical about some stuff that really hurts in the hood, you know. He is so dope, dog. And he's straight edge, you know that? Yeah. He don't smoke, he don't drink. Like when I heard that, I was like, what? Because it's hard for you to be a kid like a Vince Staples who's probably like maybe quarter body or something and not want to drink or smoke, you know? But it's like, if anyone is gonna say that 25K is wrong for or MT is wrong when you talk about I got the Nina on me, I clap a nigga for real because I'm from Beria. Then let's also talk about how much niggas encourage little girls to fucking shake their asses, you know, or niggas are calling women bitches, or how much their music videos is so much of the culture of still like fucking selling women, you know, like I may be what I am, you know, but like I feel like that's bummy as fuck. You know, especially coming from South Africa. We are the offsprings of Marian Makeba, Huma Sikela, you know, and I'm talking street culture, but I want to articulate it to that point. I want niggas to know that it's art, you know? I want niggas to know that when I say too graphic, grotesque, ghoulish, township-esque, hard couture, por favor, corner conversation, connoisseur, you know? We're not some hooligans. No, we just did it how we did it because that's all we had, you know?
Oh man.
Amen.
I mean, we could talk forever.
Yeah,
bro,
for real.
Yo, for real. At some point, we could have to, you know.
Yeah, man.
We will have to wrap it, bro. You definitely gonna come here again, dog. We need.
It's 2.25.
We need more. You know what I mean? But bro, so happy for the journey that you're on right now, and like yo, we'll definitely keep flying the Maglera flag high.
Yeah, I'm gonna come bring y'all some music.
Definitely bring it through, you know. And like I was saying, like, because Scoop did DM me, like, he's like, yo, I'm gonna bring Maglera out, you know what I mean? He's like, yo, you need to continue, you know what I mean, flying flags.
And shout out Scoop like for real, bro. Like, you know, I never knew much about that man until I met him.
Yeah.
And one thing I can tell you is like, he is one of those people I feel like is like so young at heart, just like to end this thing dope in terms of like put on culture in SA. We need more dudes putting on the lyricists because everyone else gets put on as soon as they have a hit record.
Yeah.
But we do need more platforms that just say like, because this is hip hop. If we're gonna speak about hip hop and have platforms for hip hop, we must never forget the first, like just like when in the Bible they said, let there be light. In hip hop, they said, let there be bars.
Yeah.
So we have at least one element that educates the black kid. And that's what this platform represents. That's what these chats are for.
Yeah.
You know, and once that dies, I won't consider anything else as hip hop. Like if we just have shake your ass records, make some cash records, like damn, bro. The only reason why I don't mind being like at the bottom of it still is because of what my music does. You know, at home. Here, when I was on that Cotton Fest stage, when I was hitting Bodega, and I could see every Maglera kid in the crowd, that like, I can't see his Maglera because of facial, I can see because of the way he's spitting that record. I saw one kid crying, bro.
There was a kid that was just rushing. Like,
rushed past us.
And I was just like, yo, man, I turned to my homie and my homie, G, old term G. I was like, dog, like this dude is doing it, bro. And like, it was the best thing to see, bro.
For me to be on the main stage, making a record where people were listening.
Yeah.
Dog. So like, you know, there's people who perform and people groove, and then there's people who perform and you can see this is showcase art. I make showcase art, even when it's like on a trap beat or anything. It's like, my verses are those verses. Sometimes you must sit and listen and you dance when it gets to the hook, bro. You know, and that's basically my formula with niggas. I'm not saying to niggas need to be like, you know, like us and like go bar for bar, punchline for punchline. You know, I'm just saying you can make the hook fun, but like, I think it is so unnecessary right now. Like, I want to end this off on this note, actually, in terms of South African music. You know, we are like 20, how many years past apartheid? 22? 26, you know?
94, 26.
You know, I'm not saying we shouldn't be like having fun, but it's still too early to be grooving so much, man. You go to like other countries, they have militant kids. You know, there is no militancy in Tanzania, and it is so key like right now. Where else? Like when I say the Township is a concentration camp, if they wanted, apartheid would happen again, and they could just go to the townships and extinguish niggas. Yeah. Niggas know nothing about weaponry. Niggas know nothing about assimilation. You know, I'm not saying we should assimilate basically anybody.
The systems that made it easy for them to like obliterate black people are still in place.
Yes, because white kids are going to Feld school. Y'all know what that is?
Yeah.
White kids are going to Feld school.
Afrikaans kids are heavy into
the only kids in the township who can protect the township if anyone came to go fuck us up. Exactly. You know? So, world, I see you. It's Maglera Doe Boy.
Just before you dip, I like challenging niggas. So, were you booked for Cotton Fest this year?
Nah.
And your first appearance is on the
main stage.
That's
crazy, right?
So next year
you booked, bro.
Next year you booked and on the main stage. That's my challenge to you.
That's hard, but I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, damn. So, even Goku was put in the gravity room because sharpens the sword.
Yeah.
Niggas encouraging me to be like lazy right now would be the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
Trust.
But I can't wait for y'all to see the music, man. I think, when are you guys gonna drop this thing?
We drop tomorrow, man. Not tomorrow.
Not tomorrow.
We're gonna drop
this week. It's not dropping this week.
Okay, yeah. So the music is probably gonna drop in probably drop the Bodega remix when I drop the track list. I'm literally waiting for one more mix right now before I sent the last songs, because like I was saying, after the boys died, I didn't have access to the music, right? So I had to sort of patch it myself. And this is in between Joburg and Maglera. So it would be like maybe a month where I just found this song. Then I have to come to Joburg. And it's like 2 months. Then I have to go back to Maglera to find that other engineer who did this. And then this dude maybe was having like a drug binge for like 3 days or some shit, you know, like, yo, we were recording in RDP houses. Bodega was done in like the burbs in Maglera, but I'm just saying, when you guys hear that tape started in an RDP house. So 40% of 2-player, the gully aspect of it was really in the trenches, you know. The other songs, some of them were in Joburg and stuff, but it's like, you know, it's me patching music from home. But where I'm at right now, I finally feel like we've cleaned it up and it sounds as cinematic as I wanted to make it sound. So probably drop the track list like end of this month with the Bodega remix, if they're lucky, you know. And then after that, maybe I'll come back again. Maybe I'll come play y'all like this God Mob shit, especially what I did with Frank Casino. I don't think niggas have heard Frank Casino rap like what he did on this record he did with me. It's called Phantom of the Mobsters.
That's also a
Phantom of the Mobster.
I like that guy, man. It's also a rapper.
He's very key too, but hey man, we could do this all night, you know, but
yeah, man.
We back, baby.
Yo, Raleigh Fitz.
Yeah, thank you
shout
so
out,
much.
Chance. This was beautiful.
Yeah, man, like I feel like we came back like we did best, you know.
no,
For the
this
time
one-
that we took out.
This one is another one of those lit ones where
It's not just an episode.
this is education.
Yeah.
I'm just happy I didn't say anything that would start some shit. Niggas I've grown up interview-wise. Khuli.
Yeah, actually, 'cause it's funny because when you hit me up the first time, it was like, yo, man, you gotta come. I'm gonna come up there, man. We gonna talk it all. You know what I mean? But this energy is like,
I feel like it's just, you know.
it's like it's elevated. You know what I mean? Like,
I feel like if you know, you know, you know?
Yeah.
If you know, you know. And like, there's some things that I just don't need to say anymore.
I like that.
It is what it is. The raps are speaking, you know. The cosigns are speaking. I feel like we all see. I won't say it's the whole game, but in terms of like
the whole design.
Players,
apex,
like all of the main players, actually, you know,
know.
Maglera.
Yeah, and one thing niggas must know is I appreciate all of that, but like we still doing us, you know. It's not about that or like, because the cosigns is just sometimes it's just cosigns. Some dudes have like showed me love on camera, but like real life, you know, niggas never saw the songs. They never saw the, you know. Because sometimes those things just happen in moments. I could co-sign someone right now and then I meet them in person.
It becomes a cool thing to say. You know, it's like, oh, you know Maglera? Yeah, I know Maglera. Oh, Maglera, nice. You know what I mean?
You know.
But it's,
shout outs to everyone who followed through.
shout out, man.
Shout outs to everyone who followed through.
Still on the shout outs, shout out to my moms.
19XX.
Shout outs to Maglera. Shout outs my nigga Fred. This nigga been a fan of my fucking music, man, since like Yo TV, you know?
Yep.
Yo, it is what it is. Maglera Doe Boy signing out. Love.
Right.